Hi, everybody. Welcome to the finale of It Came From the Loop, our Tales from the Loop show here on Rule of Lore. How we feeling? How we
I don't want
doing?
it to
You
end.
Yeah.
said a bad word. You said finale, and
The
I
F
don't
word.
accept this
You
word.
said the F word. I don't like that
Said the F
word.
word.
The
I
F
don't
word.
accept it. I'm gonna live in denial over here for a little while longer.
I'm ready to break into a facility.
Another F word that we're more excited about, perhaps.
Facility, yeah.
All right, well, we have some mysteries to unravel here tonight, but first we'll run through some channel announcements and then we will jump right in. So this week on Ramblemancy, the topic is going to be fall favorites, which is going to be fun just chatting about the season and what's good about it, which will be very fun, which is Friday on this very channel at 7 p.m. Pacific. I think I got it that time. It came from a loop, this very show. This very episode will be available on YouTube later this week, along with the first 3 episodes. This one, I was telling the cast beforehand, already has a name. I don't even care what happens. This episode is going to be called Journey to the Center of the Loop. I'm very excited about it. Very exciting announcement. I don't know if we've talked about this yet. We might have. Actually, I don't know. I'm just saying things. Next week, in this time slot, there will be more Loop, just not in game. Next week, we are going to be having It Came From a Loop Q&A and after show with all of these lovely faces here, moderated with either and or both. John and Lucas are going to come in and talk to us about your characters, about the story, about theories, about everything. It's going to be a very good time. We'll chat with you guys. Y'all can ask us questions. We can ask each other questions. It's going to be a very fun time. So, and if you cannot make it for that, if you're not going to be live, we have the It Came From the Loop channel in the Discord, and you can feel free to throw any and all questions in there. So if you want to catch it on VOD later or something like that, we'll make sure that we check out all of your questions there if you can't be here. So that, I'm looking forward to that. I think that's going to be very fun. I know a lot of y'all went kind of ham with your character creation and all stuff about them. So we'll get to hear more about the kids, and it's going to be a good time. Let's see what else we have. Infinite Horizon, our sci-fi supers spacefaring long form campaign for season 2 will be back in just 2 short weeks. The light in my room just went out. It's fine. We're doing great. At least it wasn't the power going out. In 2 weeks, on October 28th, we'll be back for season 2 with Infinite Horizon. Our season 1 recap went up on Monday, and you can check that out. But it will also be playing here during our break, so we'll have a slightly longer break by a few minutes for today's episode, so y'all can get up, have your breaks, but then also get prepped and primed for season 2. It's literally like 80 or 90 hours of content condensed into like 15 minutes. And you get to appreciate all of the amazing fan art we've received from all of our fan art. It's so, y'all.
I love the Taeyeon art. That made me a little bit emotional, I'll be honest.
So good.
That was great.
It's all good. I'm excited. So y'all will get to see all of that during our break today. I think that's all here. Do y'all have any announcements or plugs, things you want to chit chat about before we jump in?
If we talk really slowly, could we stretch this out for...
No.
And I'm running the intro, and we're gonna.
I'm playing in a Werewolf the Apocalypse game for the month of October. That should be a lot of fun. We started last Saturday, and we'll be. Oh, thank you for watching. It's Gabe James and Wally and B, and we're being GM'd by Dylan, and it happens on Saturdays at 4 p.m. PDT, 7 p.m. EST, or I should say ET, whatever. Nobody's on. We're still on daylight savings time is stupid. We shouldn't do it anymore. But yeah, I play the youngest in that game as well.
And also the wisest in that game.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. But it's so much fun. It's my first time playing like World of Darkness for like longer than a single session. So our finale is going to be on Halloween. So definitely check out that. That's on twitch.tv/Mythic Grove. And then, of course, I'm in like a shit ton of one-shots all through October. And the best way to figure out where to see me and find me for those is on my social media. So I'll talk about that more afterwards.
Excellent.
I think I have stuff.
Yeah,
I
go
won't
for it.
speak slowly this time, I promise. So I am. We are still doing over on Friends Roll Dice. We're still doing a month-long charity event where we're raising money for the Rain Network and Earth Day Network. So far, I think we've raised about $500. We're trying to raise a bit more because personally, I want to break 1K. Just
Yeah.
if you can like tell all your friends to come watch, and we're doing a bunch of one shots and an Air 4-shot. So we have I think the next one shot we're doing is on Friday from 4 to 6 p.m., 4 to 7 p.m. PDT. And the next we got after that is on Tuesday from 6 to 9 PDT. So even if you can't watch, even if you can't come at this time to watch, you can find our links to the Tortify links on our Twitter, which is Friends Roll Dice. And just donate. Honestly, you don't even need to be at stream. Just donate money to a good cause. Again, I'm in stuff, and I remember before this, I was like, I want to write everything I'm in down so I can read from it. I forgot to do that. So just follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at Draconics. That's DRAKONIQUES. I'll tweet and retweet all of my stuff I'm doing there. Yeah.
Excellent.
I added on an extra week onto my crewneck sweater pre-orders, so those close this Saturday on the 17th. And the Kickstarter that I'm a part of, Articles of the Arcana, is actually up right now. We dropped it a little bit early, so that's available to look at, as well as I think 3 out of 4 of the already completed cards. So check that out. Aside from that, I don't think I have anything else.
Y'all should check out Articles of Arcana. If anyone knows Mall Kids, made by the same guy. We love Matthew Gravelin in this house, so go support him and all the cool artists that are on part of that. Double plug.
You could just find me at Remy Post on Twitter. I'm just kind of doing a bunch of personal projects at the moment. I don't really have a whole lot to plug for anywhere else. And just
You're
find
still
me on Twitter.
cool, Remy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think Remy's very cool. The plug here is just that we should all love and appreciate Remy. Like I said, in 2 weeks, we got Infinite Horizon coming back. You can see me play a 4-armed, super-powered alien whom I love with my entire heart. This season's gonna be real good, y'all. You should be there. And then on Sunday, we premiered Power Play on Q Times, which is another superpowered character I get to play. No one knows what her superpower is yet, which was unintentional, but I think is very funny.
They're like a super intern.
Super intern, the Coffee Squire.
The Coffee Squire, yeah.
So that's up on YouTube now. Episode 2 will be next Sunday, and I hope y'all will tune in for that as well. It's been very fun. The premiere episode was great. I had a very good time. And I think that is all I have. And if we are good to go, we will jump into the finale, the final episode of It Came from the Loop. Welcome back. We're talking about swords and all that important stuff. All right, let's get some music up here. Chat, let me know if this is way too quiet or way too loud. I can't never tell what you're hearing. All right. So, we begin the ending of our story, much like the way it began, in a long, dark hallway. The only sound is that faint humming of overhead emergency lights as you pass under them, bathing everything in red, but otherwise dark. And the sound of rubber soles on the tile, echoing softly in the empty space. You haven't been here long. The key card y'all used and snagged from Dr. Hal Robinson swiped easily, and the door beeped and opened, and you made your way in. You have never been here before. This is the first time any of you have snuck through these halls. So this is a long hallway. It's a tunnel underground. It's kind of lit only by these slowly blinking kind of red emergency lights. And the bee of the loop here is much more prevalent. You're underground. You can feel it, but you can hear it like resonating in the walls. So did you bring your bikes down here, or did you leave them up above ground?
I think,
You probably left that
alone.
yeah, I probably left them.
Don't want to get accidentally busted with a bike.
Yeah.
Just bringing them up and down the stairs would have been annoying.
Oops. So, y'all are in. You have a long walk ahead of you. Is there anything you would like to discuss or plan before you get in? 'Cause this is, you've seen the map. You all know this is a trek to the center of the loop, just underground.
We have the calculator with us, right?
You do.
Yeah, and it spoke to us.
Yes, you got the words, I believe, key and home.
Nothing else, but nothing else since we've been walking around, right?
Nothing.
Since then, I think Beaker has at least typed in, "Hello, it's nice to meet you." So there's at least that has been pushed in.
Perfect.
TJ's like probably looking around for any cameras, and he has his like little LARP stuff like held up as if he's ready to. I don't know what he thinks he can do with it, but he's holding up ready.
Yeah,
and-
good.
Won't catch him slipping.
Can I search for any like cameras?
You can, yeah. Roll a mind investigate check.
Okay.
So chat, I changed the music levels. Let me know how that sounds.
Okay. Ooh, one success.
One success, yeah. So y'all are, it's a fully plain hallway, like tunnel, I guess. There's like literally the only thing in here that you've been able to find so far is just these red lights that kind of illuminate this dark space.
Do we have a plan when we get there? If everyone thinks on lockdown, that means there are people locked down, like down here.
I was worried
Your
about
mom?
that.
Your mom's down here.
And my dad, so I sure hope they're down there.
I mean, isn't that we would get in trouble, right? Isn't that it's a bad thing, right, if they see us?
We definitely
I feel
don't.
like... Oh, go ahead.
I don't think we want to be seen, right?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, we should run this kind of like secret agents discretion.
Crazy.
Y'all would probably have the inclination that if any of you were to get caught down here, it could put your parents in a difficult position. For those of you who work at the loop, parents who work at the loop.
Don't be
You
suspicious.
you don't know like for sure what that outcome would be, but like all of you kind of have that kind of like
Yeah.
you reflect upon your parents, who some of whom are high ranking like people in this facility.
What does the notebook tell us about like the layout of the loop? Like once we get towards where we need to get to go.
Not much. This is a notebook almost solely about the hypotheses, theories, and testing for this particular experiment. So there's not a lot listed as far as that. The only things that have locations in them would have been the keys where they're kept. So TJ's address, the bank address, and then the central, labeled just central office in the loop. And then the other locations you would have seen would have been where he was trying to mark where he had seen Zach.
Okay.
So we know we need to get to the central office, but none of us have been here anymore to work off of experience.
Yeah.
There's a chance that some of you might have been through like a school field trip type thing here, cause but it would have been like only authorized areas and
areas,
front desk, and you may have seen like 1 or 2 public facing labs, and then like the track of the loop, and like while it was not in use, or you wouldn't be in it, so possibly while it wasn't used to, but like that might have been it. So like there's things as you would have never been in these service tunnels before. So this is all fully new to you, but once you're in, there's a chance you might recognize a few places, but like it's not like you're familiar with the place.
We'll improvise.
I'm okay, I guess.
How do
Don't
we
really have
keep
much of a
from
choice.
being seen?
By being very sneaky. Come on, Zach, help me out here. Please.
I mean, we can check the rooms listening for any activity inside before we go in. There's probably signage around somewhere.
See, I knew you would be good at this. You had tips already. I just had to pull them out of you.
I'm not sure I like how comfortable all of you are with this, but
Do I look
No.
comfortable to you?
no, not you, Beaker. I honestly just mean Ferris. Actually, Zach seems just as terrified as me. So,
You had more tips than I did.
and he still was terrified. You didn't have that many, and you seem
Look,
very calm. So
Being
that's a little bit more-
scared is not going to be helpful right now, so we might as well try to approach this with some level of fake confidence. You know, fake it till you make it. Manifest.
Okay,
Basically,
okay.
if you keep like making this out to be a catastrophe, it will be a catastrophe.
Okay.
Sylvie talks about manifesting all the time. I mean, it's pretty much hocus pocus, but like
That's
helpful
not
hocus pocus.
mind over matter. That's a real thing.
We're not gonna
Mind
get
over
caught.
matter.
We're not gonna get caught.
Exactly! Just keep repeating
We're not
that.
gonna get caught.
But like really
Not gonna get
quietly
caught.
so that we don't actually get
Yeah,
caught.
that's a good point. We're not gonna get caught. We're not gonna get...
This is gonna be great. Nothing will go wrong.
So, if we are able to send them home, what next?
Go home, order pizza?
Getting home is going to be the hard part. Getting out of here is probably going to be a lot harder than getting in.
Yeah.
Well, there's all the distractions outside of everything running haywire, so assumedly, as soon as that clears up, everyone's gonna be distracted with all of that, and then no one will notice 4 small people running away from the scene of the crime.
We just need to make sure that there's some sort of diversion that is otherwise a huge issue that takes them very far away from where we'll be doing things. So that we can just, get in and out easy breezy. Nobody ever saw us.
I like that.
What distraction? Do you have a distraction in mind? Or are we just hoping one will happen?
Off the top of my head, I mean, we could start a fire.
Yeah!
You get it, buddy!
Yeah!
You two have been
This
around
guy
each other
gets
way too
it.
much.
See, it's not just me. You can't act like I'm the only bad influence here. We both had the same idea.
I think we just spend too much time together.
Yeah, I think that kind of reinforces the fact that you might be.
But it's
Then
still
who's
a good
influencing
idea.
Who? Exactly.
I still think it's a good idea.
I
Can't
mean,
really.
Yeah, it's a good
fire.
idea.
It's easy, it's simple, it's efficient.
Okay, so do we have anything that can set a fire?
Oh, we got a backpack full of junk. I'm sure we can make something happen, right?
We're in a lab. There's probably like a Bunsen burner or like a fire source around that is unattended and is not expecting some teens to come in and fuck with it.
Definitely.
Don't say that. Don't say the F word.
The fuck word? What?
Because around. Don't say the F.
Frig. Is it really that big of a deal? Beaker, is it really that big of a deal?
Beaker's eyes are just very big behind their glasses, but you can't tell if it's just the whole general idea of setting a fire in the lab.
Which F word?
Or
The
like
fire or
actually, the fire word? Yeah, which F word set them off? You don't know.
Oh god. Okay. Okay, we'll set a fire. Just. We're not gonna get caught. It goes back to it. We're not gonna get caught.
Manifest. You're doing great.
Oh man, I hope one day I'll be able to tell Parker about this.
Wait,
It'd be a
so
really
talk
good
about what?
story.
I just need to make clear about the fire, or
The whole story. They'll just think it's so
Okay.
cool.
maybe. I don't see why you can't tell her. Just make sure she doesn't tell anyone else. Cause I think
Them.
it'll get us in them. Because I
Well-
feel like they might get us in trouble.
They're the ones who got us out of trouble.
Yeah.
When we were in
Parker's
the
really cool.
when we were in the bookstore, all I had to do is tell them that we were being followed, and they made like this huge distraction so that we could get out of the bookstore safe. That's how I was able to get the bag.
Oh wait, hold on. So
Distractions, they work.
they followed you? So the
No,
Oh, yeah.
not Parker,
Well-
but
not Parker. Yeah.
The Dr. Man, Hal Robinson. Yeah, he was totally
yeah,
following us.
He followed us into the bookstore. We only got out because Parker helped us.
Knocked a
Oh.
whole
Makes some
bookshelf
of it.
on themselves.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
they're
in the
really
past.
cool. You guys should definitely come in and meet them because they're probably one of the coolest people in town.
I gladly will. I don't think I've been to the bookstore.
They
Did
had
they?
this one really cool book that I got for Zach. That
Yeah.
did your brother like it?
Yeah, he was kind of busy and wanted to wait until all this business is done, but we're gonna try to read it together.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad.
Thank you.
It was about cryptids, right? It was about cryptids.
It was actually about prophecies for the 21st century. But
Whoa, okay,
anyway.
that was neat. I didn't expect that. That's
Oh,
Yeah,
any
we
good
were
ones?
back in the
Sorry.
occultism section.
Is there any prophecies about what's happening now in? Actually, never mind.
I'm sure I would have read it if there was. So no.
Okay,
That would be too easy.
I'm not gonna say no to easy. Honestly, so
As you say that, there is a rumble from further in towards the facility.
oh no.
Wait, I still have a crowbar from last time, don't
You
I?
do, yeah.
All right.
Any
Gotta-
items you all
gotta
have
wind 'em up.
accumulated over this, you all can have them with you.
I took
Winding
a
up
ball
that
bearing.
sucker
I don't know
just
why I
in
took a ball
case.
bearing.
Does the
I
Does
forgot
the
about
rumble
this.
Does the rumble sound like loop related or is it like different?
It doesn't
Person?
feel like so y'all can like feel this like boom, like around you, like reverberating through the walls because you're underground now. There was no disturbance in that. This seemed separate.
Oh, it's just. I think that was a storm.
Oh.
It's
Might have.
getting worse.
Or maybe there is an explosion in the lab and people are in trouble. But that's not our
Don't
problem.
say that. Why does?
Why would you
Why
add
is that
more for
better?
him to worry about? He was just cool. Like, that took work. That took effort.
What,
I'm done.
What if my mom's there? What? We
I
need
don't know
to-
what your mom
hurry up.
does, and
We
maybe
need-
she's okay, and maybe
we-
it's
we need-
contained.
We need to hurry up. We need to hurry
Maybe
up.
there's
Do you just
no
start
fire.
speed walking?
at all. Zach, stop catastrophizing.
Please.
I was gonna say it could have been an ample distraction, and then this would have been our time to act. But probably hurrying up is a good idea.
What do you think the portal looks like?
Blue.
Pink. I think it'd be pink. I don't
You
know.
have schematics of the machine that creates it, but you don't. There's nothing about the visuals.
I was gonna say is how color coding like his notes.
Probably not.
It
I
looks
think-
pretty cool, the arch.
It looks, yeah. That reminds me, actually. How do we, and I kind of I can't remember, do we all have the key each? Does one person have the keys?
Yeah, who's got the keys? There are two. You have two of them.
We have two, yeah.
We haven't hooked them together at all, right? They're kind of
Yeah,
still.
they're still separate.
Oh yeah, we haven't done that yet.
So
I
we
mean,
have one
probably
that's in the box, and then one that's probably free floating among someone.
No, actually, we have both of the boxes now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who's backpack babysitting the keys? It's not Ferris. Ferris got crowbar.
I feel like
I can-
TJ is the right person to take care of the keys.
Yeah, yeah, that
Alright.
makes sense. Yeah, TJ has the keys.
You've got
Like-
two keys.
Do you want to put them together now? So we can just slow it in and run? Or do you want to put them together when we're in front of the... how are we doing this?
They might
I'm sorry,
like.
I'm over planning. I know, but I'm terrified right
You got a
now.
long walk. There's lots to talk about.
They could potentially send off a signal when we put 1 and 2 together.
Oh,
That could be bad. That maybe we want to be in the right place at the right time to put them all together.
that's a good point. I didn't think about that. Okay.
It's sometimes very handy to have a conspiracy theorist in your group.
Sometimes.
I will think of any and all possibilities,
Please
for better, for worse.
restrict it to the positive outcomes for a little bit, for my sake.
Okay, I can try. I can try.
All I did is Zach was just trying physically trying not to just blurt out another negative possible outcome.
We took a perfectly good kid and we broke him.
And so after having spent a lot of time reading about EMPs and
Yes.
looking at the storm and knowing that's probably the result of an EMP or anything like that, and having sort of a passing familiarity with the phenomenon, is there any other information that I could Beaker could possibly think of that might explain why this storm is happening?
I'll take a roll. Let's see. Let's be comprehend. I didn't get all of my checks today. Ability to have the right piece. Yeah, to have the right piece of information. Mind comprehend.
Right. This chick.
Gotta count the dice and make it count.
That's 4 successes.
Oh,
Oh,
shit!
whoa.
Excellent.
Damn.
So you get additional info and a +1 bonus tie to one roll when you use the information. So up to 3. So you'll get your success will be your 1. You'll get 3 extra questions on top of this. This is very exciting. I love this. Okay, so you're asking for information as to why the storm might be happening. Is
Yes.
that okay?
Correct.
So, based on what you've read from Dr. Robinson's notes, it seems like whatever this creature is, being here is disturbing the electromagnetic field of the Earth itself. You don't know, this could be spread further. You have this realization this could be spread further than just Boulder City. But you know for sure that it's affecting Boulder City, and it seems to be its radius seems to be spreading, and it is messing with electromagnetics and magnetic fields and things like that. And so whatever, just its presence here seems to be altering the weather of Boulder City.
Could that be because it has like a polarity that is reverse or opposite of ours or something like that? Is there something about its electrical makeup that is the reason why it's screwing with our particular like electromagnetic balance?
Yeah, you could probably glean that out of there, that either it has the way that it is either an electromagnetic entity or it has an adverse effect to the existing electromagnetics here. 2 more questions, I think.
I'm happy to open it up to the table if you guys
Yeah.
have any questions that you'd like to contribute.
I honestly can't think of any.
Why the snow specifically? Because there was like, I know that like electromagnetic stuff and like creates thunder and whatnot, but why the snow? If there's anything about that.
Jim has to answer on honestly. Caitlin thinks snow is cool in horror.
That's fair.
It's ominous enough, I suppose.
It is.
If there's
Yeah, I
real
agree.
science behind it, you realize that's why.
The
Well,
god of
cool.
this world
The-
thinks it's cool. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
The atmosphere is getting weirdly cold because of the electromagnetic stuff,
yeah.
and so it's snow.
Basically, the existence of this thing is fucking up reality.
Okay.
The fact that it's here and shouldn't be. It's like an added element to like there was equilibrium and this has thrown it off balance is kind of a good way to think of it.
Let me look at the notes really fast and see.
If you would like to ask if you know something from the notes before you ask your actual question, that is also fine too.
Yeah, is there something from the notes like there are 2 different versions of this machine. There's the Mark 1 and there's the Mark 2.
The Mark 1
Um,
no longer exists.
The Mark 1 no longer exists, but they did successfully manage to open a portal at least once, correct?
Mhm.
Was that the cause of did that cause a lockdown? Was
No.
there a lockdown that coincides with that incident?
So what Hal writes in his notes is that the plan for these projects was just general teleportation of basically a particle, like an atom-sized thing, a small distance. What happened with the Mark II when the lockdown happened was they miscalculated, something got changed at the last second, and they punched a hole through reality instead of...
Moving a tomato across the room.
And they were still doing particle size, like it was a longer distance, but it was still just like a hydrogen atom or something, like
Really small tomato.
really
It
tiny
was-
tomato.
It was a who. They were transporting a who.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
From
like
Whoville.
across the room. Like that was their big test. And so, according to his notes, he believed it was supposed to be here to here, and it punctured sideways. And so there was a rift made essentially. Instead of just folding our space, it punctured it. And when the arch was shut down, it closed it.
Okay.
And that's all information that would have been available to you. So if you have another question about the electromagnetic thing, even if you'd like to extend it to the electromagnetics of like other things and not even specifically this entity too, I'll give some wiggle room, even though the role was particularly about the entity and the weather. It was a big success. If you want to get wiggly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my biggest thing is like, why did the loop stop? Like, what about this particular being made the loop stop? Like that incident.
Thank you for asking that. I can tell you. So, the way that a particle accelerator works.
You wanted this question.
I did.
so
I
bad.
wanted it so bad. I wanted you also to figure out. So, the way that a particle accelerator works, which y'all actually probably would have learned in school, and I'll say that these are you putting these 2 pieces of information together. In a particle accelerator, there are a couple of different types. This particular particle accelerator is called a synchrotron because it is a full circle. It's just a big loop, big circle. And in a synchrotron, electric fields are used to accelerate particles, and magnetic fields are used to steer them. And so it's just basically they go around a big ring, and sometimes it'll have it crash into a static thing, and sometimes they'll have them meet and basically ram into each other. It's just a synchronized increasing of a magnetic field. And the synchrotron is cool because they can make it get faster because it can go around the loop 100 times instead of just like, there's some that are like long lines, they just meet in the middle, but the circle one lets them achieve way faster speeds. And so you could assume that this entity messing with electromagnetic fields and electromagnetics would have a severely detrimental effect on a facility and a type piece of tech that uses electric fields and magnetic fields to function. And as an EMP will fuck up any piece of tech, you would assume that it kind of was not great to happen in the center of this facility.
Cool. So I think that as they're walking, Beaker has sort of just been muttering very quietly to themselves as though they're like sort of theorizing all of these things that like all of these questions that they've asked you, and that kind of answering them for themselves, like
putting pieces of info together. Yeah.
It's just like, so they're just kind of quietly talking to themselves, like as everybody's walking, loud enough that everybody can hear these things. But yeah, that's essentially what they do for like about 5-10 minutes. They're just sort of like, so what about this being made this happen? Maybe it was, and it's the stuff like kind of like that sort of thing.
And teachers watching like, I don't remember learning any of this in school. How are they putting this together? Was this in
really
class?
Smart. Beaker's like so smart.
I know, but like, am I not meant to know about this as well? Like, I'm like a couple grades higher, right? I should have covered some of this, right? I'm just like, kind of like, why don't
having
I know
counter
this?
thoughts to the.
So this is like the thing that they're like into and interested in. So of course they're like probably gonna be the next big loop scientist and be that like your mom's job or something.
I think
eventually.
at that Beaker turns like bright red and is like kind of like, well, gosh, I'm not that smart. I mean, it takes a lot of really hard work to become like a big loop scientist like TJ's mom. Like,
I mean, do you want to talk to my mom about it? Like, I'm sure there's internships, right? You might be too young for an internship, but like, she can save you an internship spot when you're old enough for one. That's the thing, right? Like, you can save internships.
Yeah, I think so.
Favor. Get a good word in.
And hey, if you save the loop, that's like they gotta like pay you really well at this internship when you do get it. Like you save the world basically.
It's like deserving of a cash reward even.
Can I ask for TJ to make a rule against Beaker?
Oh, okay.
For why? Yeah, I love this. I don't even care what it's for. Do it.
I don't either. What? I'm gonna run. What?
Yeah, I want you to make a comprehend check against Beaker.
Yeah, do it.
Oh,
is the difficulty one, or is this like extremely hard?
No, it's not gonna be. I think that they've known each other long enough that this might be a piece that TJ, like the light, if he succeeds, the light will go on.
Good. Oh, I love this.
Yeah, I got 2 successes.
Oh.
So the reason, like, it would occur to TJ that perhaps the reason why Beaker is so terrified to come over to your house is not because they don't want to play games with you, is they are terrified and intimidated to meet your mother.
Oh no,
baby!
The way that just clicks just with me as
if
well.
you would like to ask, if you would like to ask for an additional piece of information, you got 2 successes.
You can ask another question.
My question is, how could I convince Beaker to come with and meet my mom?
And now you get an additional die on any roll you use to use this in the future.
I think that like getting more information about Beaker's family, like maybe even inviting their dad over instead of just Beaker, or even like asking if Patty could come over to play, like Like use Beaker's sweet spots. Like
Ooh, okay.
this isn't just like Beaker is really bad about doing anything just for themselves. Like
Okay, I have ideas for that. Okay, cool.
Get Patty the paladin. Get her in
she'd be
game.
a great paladin.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I think like TJ, like he's very bad at hiding his emotions, especially now. So when it clicks, he just like his eyes just widen, like, oh, okay, and then he just keeps it to himself, like, okay.
Files
If we
that away
survive
for
this,
later.
I'm gonna
Oh.
find a way. I mean, we're dealing with an interdimensional being. He's not entirely sure what's gonna happen right now.
Fair. Y'all move through this hall. Like, this is a long walk. At some point, you hear another rumble, smaller than the first one, and you start to pass these red emergency lights that kind of have this like slow on and off kind of thing. The rest of the hallway is dark. Like, there's no regular lighting. It's all these red lights. You come across a few that are like flickering or like look like they're about to go out. And as you're walking, those become more frequent. You start to pass ones that are out completely. You're getting close to the loop. You know from there are about, let's see, what was it? There were like 2 or 3 turns that you had to make to get there, and you're rounding on the last one. So you're just about there. The entrance to the central facility of the loop.
So is it like, are they the ones that are completely out? Is it enough for us to like literally not see anything until the next light?
So there's enough. I mean, it's dark, but your eyes have adjusted to the low light at this point where, like, because there are lights further ahead, it, like, fills in enough, but it gets dark for a bit before the red lights are back in again.
Why are some of these lights out? If anything, I kind of would have thought the ones closer to the center would be the ones that, like,
Well,
kept maintained.
It might be following us, and the loop might be struggling again if it just might be struggling overall of being like a center hub for all this tech, and this is where it knows it came from.
Wait, is it still in the calculator?
Hasn't answered my hello. I don't know.
Yeah, you're not sure if it was even in it fully or if it just left you a message, because you haven't had any sort of engagement with it since key home.
I can try and get its attention again with the calculator, but I don't know. Maybe it's also just that they haven't bothered to send anybody back out this way to repair anything.
Yeah, if the storm keeps knocking it out, it's possible.
Hope that's it. You're muttering something about like electromagnetism thing having an effect of it. The loop is still beating. So what would happen if it got close to the loop and disrupted that?
I have a feeling that when we reopen the arch and send it back, we might, I don't know what's going to happen, but maybe the same thing, maybe not. It's a risk.
Only one way to find out.
Plus,
Gotta get that other key, right?
the first time they did this, it was an accident. This time we're doing it on purpose. So maybe different results?
I mean, we also have no clue what we're doing, so I don't think it'd be that different from doing it by accident.
Yeah, fair enough.
Maybe it. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. That one was
Is that
not
what
a.
you say now? You signed.
I'm not. Yep. I held it back. I held it in.
Started-
It's not being vocalized.
But if you don't say it, then I just think of all the worst case scenarios that
You
could have
can
said.
do that, but it's not
then-
going to be worse than what I was saying.
That just makes me
Why
think
would you
of
say
even worse
that?
things.
Put it on your mind. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Exactly.
One job.
Yep.
One
Unfair.
job.
It's not been vocalized. It's not been put out there. No, but it's all within your own mind, TJ. Again, mind over matter. Just think about something else.
It's gonna be fine. After this, I think Ferris is right. We should order pizza
Up
I'm
ahead.
full
I could
of
do
good
the pizza.
ideas.
Up ahead of
and
you.
ice cream.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Cookie dough ice cream.
I would-
Cookie dough. I
I love cookie
Kind
dough.
is fine.
It's good.
Oh yeah.
You can see from where you are up ahead of you, the hallway seems to come to an end. The lights off down there are almost entirely off, but you can see kind of a greenish, bluish, like that of the fluorescence of like those sickly, like like doctor's office fluorescence, kind of peeking through what might be a set of doors. You're too far to see, but as you kind of, do you continue forward, or would you like to take a second?
I mean, I would like to. I just like to do it, sneakily.
All right.
I
Y'all
would
like
like
to
to try to listen.
roll
Like,
some?
can
Yeah.
you hear anyone?
Everyone roll a stealth check, and then
Stealth.
one of you roll an investigate with a bonus advantage from one of your friends. Or from all of your friends. Everyone can help, but you only get one bonus.
Who would like to do that? Should it be Ferris? Should Ferris do the snooping?
Ferris
do
should
the
do the snooping, and either Zach or myself can do, I think, the investigate. You want to take the investigate, Zach, and get
Sure.
the bonus from me?
Everyone will have to do stealth, because that's like an individual check, but
Yeah.
y'all can listen together to try to help each other with the
One success for sneak.
one. Cool.
Same as well. One success.
I got 2 successes for sneaking.
Cool. Well, you
and-
know what? The 2 rolls over. You can use an extra success to assist another kid. So that's 4 total. So you are fully sneaky. You are silent.
Ha.
All right. Roll me and investigate to see what y'all can hear. So this is a roll. Y'all can help each other try to like pick out stuff. So it'll be for everyone. It'll be a mind investigate.
Trying to count my dice.
Yeah, your million dice plus your 1 bonus
That's how to count.
Yeah. Oof, okay.
from your friends.
That is only 1 success though.
Oh
but-
wow. Okay.
that's
Yeah.
fine.
No. Y'all, what you can hear from here is the loop, that constant beating sound. Occasionally you hear like a flickering, like a like tech, and you can see the light source down the hallway flicker on and off, that like fluorescent ting as it goes in and out. But that's all that you hear.
Do I know? So like, would we know like how many people tend to be in? Like, not in, but like how many people do we usually see going to work at the loop? Like,
The
at any-
loop is generally pretty well populated.
Okay.
Not everyone works every day all the time, but like it employs a big portion of the town. And a big portion of people were back underground because of what your mom had to go back for, which y'all can assume is the aftermath of whatever happened when the arch was open. A lot of people got called back down to assist with cleanup, and then the loop went into lockdown. So there should be a significant number of people.
Sorry, I can't. We gotta stop for just a second because the dog.
Orion and
The
Zelda.
dogs are fighting on Alex's bed.
The girls are fighting.
I'm so sorry.
But there was one moment where it looked like something completely different was going on back
Oh,
there.
no.
And I'm just like, we just gotta pause really bad.
Hold on. Hold on.
Oh no. I'm so sorry.
It's
But I'm
okay.
just like, you know what? We just gotta talk about the dogs really fast.
I mean, it was just in case.
Zelda. There's Zelda.
All right, I apologize.
It's okay.
They won't be causing a ruckus now.
So I know we don't want to get.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. I know it's a good thing, like no one's around, but at the same time, there's no one around. Shouldn't there be people around?
They might all be
far-
in the same
yeah.
place. I'm
And
like,
how far in are we at this point? Like, does this still look fairly remote around this area?
You are nearing the edge of what would be the central facility. From the access tunnel, like about to this door, you would assume would be the entrance to the facility itself. So this isn't like central, like offices and stuff and like labs, but like this is the loop facility.
You were saying, Zach?
I mean, if everything is going wrong at the arch caused this, there might be a huge conglomeration of people at the arch itself. Or they might be doing things to perform maintenance on like the essential systems so they're not in their regular places and there might not be as much movement. Which could be a good thing for traveling around, but could also be a bad thing if they're all at the arch.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we start a fire, but probably a little bit closer so that they actually notice that there's a fire happening. Since this is kind of a ghost town, it would be sort of a waste right here. But once we find them...
I mean, we need to find the central office, right? For the third key. Well, everything's fine. Okay, and she just like kind of tries to put fake confidence, you know, fake it till you make it, and just tries to walk with as much purpose as he can.
You're doing amazing.
Y'all are very stealthy. You rolled some good solid stealth checks. You moving forward? All right. You walk up to a set of what look like sliding doors. There's a key card bolted like next to it, but like doors that are like would slide sideways. They're glass. You can see in, and you see what looks like a smaller hub where like a circular desk where like someone might sit in the middle of it and be able to go around where that you can kind of see some hallways going off in other directions. There is that flickering fluorescent light, and this space is trashed. There is a computer that would be sitting on the desk that is blown out. Any technology that you can see from here is off. There are papers strewn everywhere. You can see any other windows from this area have been blown out that were like interior windows. This looks more like reinforced. And the key card swipe, though there is no light blinking.
She just looks at Zach.
If the electronics in the whole facility are kind of going out, then if this door is supposed to be automatic, it's not going to let us in by itself. Might have to force it open.
I have a crowbar.
You do.
I want
There's
to
a
try.
All right.
So the key card did not work when we tried to swipe it
If
through.
you swipe it, nothing happens. Seems to be there's no power to this door. How would you like to utilize this crowbar?
So the door like slides open left to right?
Yeah, there are two doors that look like they split apart. They're glass, like the reinforced glass panes in them, but it is just like a door that is split down the center.
Okay, yeah, so then just try to get the crowbar in between the two and wedge it open.
Cool. All right, let's do body
I would like to help
force.
as well.
Yeah, you'd like to assist?
Let's
Yeah.
All right,
Let's pull a wharf and just.
Yeah. I think this will be body force. You will get 1 bonus because your friends are helping you.
Cool.
And if you have anything that you think would be useful, you have the crowbar, so I'm gonna give you a bonus because you're using something to help, so that you'll have an item. It's not your iconic item, so you won't get like +2, but you will get +1 for having a resourceful item. And if there's anything else you would like to do to assist, if you can think of anything else, otherwise just go for it.
Yeah, we're just gonna go for it, man.
All right.
That is 2 6s.
Heck yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Let's see. There are some bonus effects. Give success to another kid. No. Impress, frighten, humiliate, pin your opponent. There's no opponent. No opponent. There's no opponent. These are all about opponents. You don't need to roll to overcome the exact same task and trouble in the future. You avoid any collateral damage. or anything you can think of. Is there a bonus effect you would like to come into play here?
Be quiet.
Yeah.
You do so
Maybe
silently.
it's not as loud of a wrenching note. Yeah. That's
Cool.
what I like to see.
Excellent.
Perfect.
So y'all get the teeth of this thing wedged in there, and all of you just heave, and it takes a couple of tries to kind of get the right leverage, but eventually you get it in there and you hear whatever locking mechanism, because you can feel it kind of like that, like you couldn't get it there, like there's that padding and it keeps swinging back towards itself, and eventually you hear the locking mechanism snap, and they kind of like fall back together, and you can just with your hands put a little bit of force on them and push these doors apart.
Problem solved.
And you are
We could have
in-
just smashed the glass, but this is better.
That would've been very
that would have
loud.
been so messy
And
Yeah.
very loud.
and dangerous.
You have
It would have been faster.
you have access to the central facility of the loop.
Hell yeah.
Now we just have to figure out where the key is.
Yeah. Maybe they have maps. This place is pretty big. I'm sure like newcomers would probably need a map.
Oh yeah, they're probably
Yeah.
like by the stairs or something.
Like
Yeah.
the front desk, like at a
Front desk,
museum,
yeah.
they like probably got them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
whatever's closest.
She's gonna head to the front desk and check.
All right.
Anyway.
So you're not sure if this is necessarily a front desk or if it's just like a hub, like in the facility. But you do look around, and up against the wall, towards one of the hallways, you see kind of a pretty representational like line drawing map of this facility, and you can see where it is. There are labeled near the center of it is kind of it will say central office, other things that seem to be like administration stuff, but you see a path directly to where you are headed.
I
Is it on the
imagine...
same? Oh,
Go ahead.
is it on the same floor?
There's only one. This is just like
Oh,
a
it's only
one.
one.
Yeah, straight
Okay.
shot.
Do we
Let's
have
look.
any ideas of which one of these offices or labs they might keep it in?
Wasn't there a
Um,
specific note about that?
Which,
It just says the
Just-
facility
just-
central office.
yeah, so the facility central office is like an office like that is titled the central
So we
office.
gotta go
Which
through
is
the
the
whole
But
one-
it's the DARPA one.
So DARPA is the actual name of it's a DARPA facility. Is what the loop is like a
Colloquial
nickname,
term, yeah.
nickname for because it's a big ring. So it's a DARPA facility, which is where you are. The DARPA facility central office, which you found labeled on the map, which is near the center of the place that you are in.
Just follow the lines and get there, I guess.
I guess.
Is there anything on the desk that indicates, or like at like this hub area that maybe indicate where everybody is at, or like anything pointing towards that?
Why don't we make a mind investigate check? Because this is a mess. See what you can glean out of here.
Okay.
Can I figure out where on the map the doctor's office is?
There are not like labeled by name. There are labs that have that are like 2A and like things like that, but there aren't like names attached to them. You could probably figure out from the map which section of this facility is regulated by DART, which you know is the department that is heading the Arch project. So you have it narrowed down to like a fifth of the facility, which is still helpful, but not
That
precise.
one success.
One success,
Just
excellent.
one.
So you go through here and you find, from what you're looking at, part of it looks like from some sort of, like it was all blasted one direction away from the center of the facility. But some of it looks like it's been torn through. like without regard for what it is, and you can't get onto the computers or anything because the power source here doesn't look like it's been fully connected back up yet. But you don't see anything. Like, the answer is no, but in a way that is strange, in which there were no, like, you find not necessarily timetables, but like shift things, and they don't match up with what's happening right now, is basically what I'm trying to say. Like, it doesn't say where people are right now because they should be around. So it's strange. Is that a helpful answer? I walked in circles for a second before I got there.
Yeah. So I guess we just gotta walk around and see what we find. Hopefully it's not people.
Yeah,
I mean-
I think if we stick to this particular section of labs and offices, we'll probably find it in there. We just have to avoid all the rest of them.
Easy peasy.
So it's kind of a circular facility, and y'all came in down on the south-ish end of it. The central offices are in the center, and then in this top, like, fifth is where the DART facilities are. So it's all kind of on the way. So you head off. I will let you keep your stealth rolls because you haven't made much noise, and you used your bonus success to be quiet. So you move silently through the halls, and there are other maps that kind of show, or not necessarily even maps all the time, but like those. Follow this arrow to get to these labs. Follow this arrow to get to the central, like that type of a thing. And so you just kind of follow, and you move through, and you pass doors that are closed, some that are open, some have windows, some don't. Every lab you pass that has any sort of window or visual like into it, trashed. You see no people. The power seems to be barely holding. And it is just wrecked tech as you move through. What's it?
Based on this earlier batch of successes that I had, can I glean that this is the result of the electromagnetic pulse?
Yes. EMPs have the capability to, one, blow out tech and things, but also can, like, destroy brick and mortar, like buildings and things like that. Like, it has, EMPs are powerful, and this is a strange, not normal, not usual one, but it does appear that anything that you were looking, if you were to take time to look, anything that seems to be blown in a direction, all of it's going the same way in every lab, away from the center of the loop.
It's gonna take them ages to clean this up.
Yeah. I'm still a little bit worried about where they went, though.
Well, there was nobody working when it happened. Like, everybody was gone, probably, except for the overnight security guards. So probably not too many people, if any, got hurt.
I hope so. Yeah.
Did we hear anything on the news about people ending up in the hospital because of this?
Mm-mm. You assume so based on what you know from the, some of you found the testing schedules for this, is that this is a dangerous piece of technology, dangerous piece of equipment, so it is an after-hours test. So that's why it was that pulse, that burst y'all felt, and the weird electric or magnetic effect that y'all saw in the graveyard. If anyone was in the loop during that, it was just that testing team. Likely, unless there was another test happening, but like that's kind of the guess you have. And
No, the doctor wasn't terribly injured. He seemed fine.
Mhm.
Probably
Maybe he
nothing
hit
worse
his
than
head too hard, and that's why he's gonna try to fuck up this thing. Sorry, F word again. Never.
You are so
Mess
bad
it
at
up.
that.
from his notes, it seems like a matter of pride. This is his proof that he is right, and that is kind of the vibes you're getting from his motives, from what he's written, that isn't just equations and sketching, like any theories. The tone he takes feels lightly vindictive, a little bit bitter, but he's trying to prove something.
Woof.
Sounds like the worst kind of person that tries to like find Bigfoot, but for all the wrong reasons. It's about the matter of like exploration and discovery, not like pride. What an asshole.
You would bring this back to Bigfoot.
I gotta.
Y'all make your way through this facility and encounter nobody. Like, it is weirdly quiet. The sounds you hear, aside from your own footsteps, some lights fritz out. A lot of places there are emergency lights on, so it's got that red tinge, it's dark. And the closer you get, the less of a true light sources there are, so it's lit, but again by these reds and sometimes blues, but otherwise it's dark. It's getting kind of eerie and creepy, and you hear some tech that is maybe trying to reboot or things like that. And when you pass labs that are open, it looks like a lot of shit got wrecked. Like a lot of experiments got ruined. You would understand why people got called back to the loop for cleanup, and for potentially salvaging research and experiments that have been going on down here, which is when you would assume they figured out that something was wrong and locked it down. But you make your way, and eventually you find kind of this, clearly is the central hub of this facility, and there is where like a main desk would be, kind of similar to the setup you saw, but like larger. There seems to be more files, more information, and back behind it is a kind of a glass wall, and you can see in is a large desk with a placard by the door labeled Central Office.
Okay, this is it. Should we just walk in? Should we just go in?
The only thing I could
Yes.
suggest is walk in like we belong here, but we obviously don't belong here to begin with, so fuck it. Sorry.
Zach.
Again.
Third time in
What a
one.
stressful night.
You are
We're under a lot of
really
pressure.
slipping, dude. Wow, I thought I was gonna be the problem.
We're doing a lot right now. Can't think of it.
That's fine. I don't have any soap on me, so you're good for now.
Oh.
Gotta pay that debt later.
That's fine. We gotta save this electromagnetic creature first.
We should put a swear jar in the duck.
Okay, wait, I don't know about a jar. We can
I'm
do the
actually down
soap,
with-
but I don't know about the jar.
All
right. Let's go. Let's get this last piece of the key.
Yeah, so we go in, I guess.
Yeah, you open the door to this office, and it is like, it's a very nice office, aside from the fact that things have been blown out and some shelves are knocked over, but there's like a nice like mahogany wood desk, like there's like, it's like carpeted in here, the chair looks nice and ergonomic, like there's a couple of plants, like it's cool, like it's actually a very, like if you were someone who was a big business person or like owner of a large government facility and you had to meet with clientele or something, this is a nice spot to do it. Like, despite the fact that it's creepy and red tinged and red lit outside, like you can kind of see in your mind's eye, like this would be like a very nice central part. And you actually, in your minds, weeding through what this would look like maybe without the destruction, you've been here before. If you've been on a field trip to the loop, this is a place you would have been allowed to see. This is very much a public facing area in the loop. But you enter in and you are surrounded by bits of office, some in place, some not. What would you like to do?
I guess we start searching, right?
Snoop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll me, someone take lead, roll the investigation check with 1 bonus die from the help from your friends.
I think Zach, who's the
Yeah,
best
I think
hand-
Zach has
Zach's
the
got the
highest
max roll.
investigation.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Beaker's going to sit in the chair and like spin around in it.
Oh
with,
yeah.
like
mhm.
their hands and like their arms and legs, like as
Can TJ be like speeding them up?
Yeah.
Like, they turn around, they go around.
Whee! Like they'll do that for like 2 seconds and then I'll help. But they just want to
A moment of levity. Yeah. Gotta keep it light.
Only got one success.
One success.
That's still
yeah,
enough.
that's all you needed. Yeah. So y'all take your time moving through all of these shelves and these drawers and all of this. Like, it's kind of a large office, so it takes you some time. You move through, and you finally get to like the desk drawers, and you pull through. And in the bottom, the whole bottom drawer is shallower than it seems like it should be. You pull it out, and you're like, "Wait a second, this is a really deep drawer," and it's. So you kind of get your hands in there, you take a bunch of files out and things that are on top of it, and you kind of get your hands down there. You could probably even use the crowbar to get some leverage in there, and you pop out a false bottom to this drawer, and inside is kind of a foam inlaid inset, and in there is a box matching the black cases that you've seen all of the keys in so far.
What's in the box?
It is locked.
Locked though.
Beaker goes through the bag and pulls out the big key ring. I think that the key card was on. I think there was also keys attached to that as well, weren't? So Beaker will pull that out.
You go through and test them, and none of them seem to have compatibility with this box. The one that you used for there is one on there that matches the black box that you found in Hal Robinson's bag, but it does not seem to match up with this box. It seems like they might all have their own separate key.
Maybe the key for this box is in the actual arch. Or maybe we just need to try and break it open.
Handy crowbar hasn't failed us yet.
That being said, if we actually break this box, people will know somebody was meddling with it.
I mean, that might be obvious once the keys. I mean, unless we plan on putting the key back. Do we plan on putting the key back?
I mean, I don't think they'll miss the arch being activated. I imagine the arch being activated would be like a portal being ripped into the fabric of the universe, right? People would notice.
Like we've already gone an inch. We gotta go a mile, right? We gotta just break it open.
I mean, don't smash it, but
I'm not gonna smash it. I'm not an animal.
I was gonna say smash it.
No.
And people think I'm the bad influence.
I'm starting to think differently. It might be that.
Don't let the button-ups fool you, okay? Sweater, I see through it.
Oh wait. Well, I think Beaker wants to do at least like one more check through like either the desk, or are there any other places that might be searchable in here?
With your success, which is like a full success for searching them, you did not find any keys in this office. So you could assume that either the key is elsewhere or on someone's person, like they keep the key with them. Whoever's office this is, it might be with them or in another part of the facility, but if there is a key for this, it is not in this room. I will give you that.
You said that we would have probably been here for like a school trip. Did we meet the person who works in this office?
Probably, yeah. Whoever was either the front desk person, or if this person, whoever runs it, let's give them a name.
If they don't have a name, it's fine. I just was wondering if they're important.
Now we'll give them a name. I have a whole thing of names here. Let's see. Her name is Nadia Quinn, and she is the head of the loop.
Okay.
And you would have probably met her if you had a tour. She would have greeted you, not given the tour, but been like, "Hello, welcome to the loop. This is a facility. I hope you work here one day. Have fun looking around on the on the places that are public approved." Like.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get the key from Miss Quinn. That's unlikely.
I mean, we don't even know where she is for starters, so I feel like it's time to give good old crowbar a pry.
Sure.
Oh,
wow.
It was good. I enjoyed it. It was clever.
I mean,
it was.
You're coming, I guess.
All right.
It's my humor.
Roll me a body force with a +1 for the crowbar and a +1 for assistance from your friends.
Cool. Please be good. Please be good. I got 1.
Excellent. Yeah, you're able to get it in there. And are you trying to just pop it open, or are you gonna try to like break it open? I mean,
guess
it's gonna break
I'm
either way, but like, how gentle are you being?
I'm gonna try to at least get it pried open. I don't want to like snap open. I'm not trying to get my eye shot out or something by.
Okay, so you wanna
flying.
bend the metal open as opposed to breaking the lock. Okay, cool. Yeah. So you kind of one of the hinges kind of pulls apart as you kind of lift up the edge of it, and you can see from the side. You can see the top of the key.
Oh yeah, I love this crow. I'm keeping it.
It was a very good find.
It's a good look.
Good luck.
It matches with the outfit, right? I mean, not that that's
You have the juvenile delinquent look down.
Yeah.
I mean that in the best way.
I'll take it as a compliment.
That is the
Delinquents are usually
spirit
the
in
coolest
which it was
characters in teen
meant.
movies.
That was the spirit in which it was meant.
And now we got key. I think it's time to mosey on over.
Time to go to the arch.
Right. You all head out of the office. You have all 3 keys. Is the same person holding all 3 of them, or have you split them between? Who is in possession of the keys?
I think now that we're inside the loop and inside the central, like the office proper, like splitting it up feels like a good idea now.
I agree.
Yeah.
So
Just in case.
They're technically the office key is key 1, Robin's key is key 2, and the bank key is key 3. Is their technical classifications, but you can just call them whatever you would like. But that's someone.
Keys.
You can just tell me who has a key. It's not a big deal.
I'll have a key.
Yeah, you should have your mom's key.
Yeah.
I feel like Ferris should have the key that they broke out of the box, and then maybe Zach can have the other one, the bank
I'll
key,
take
since it was
Hal's
the
key.
one slipped into his bag.
No.
So
Is it still inside of a plush horse, or did you put it back in the box?
I don't know. The horse gave it character.
It's good. I
And
do
at least,
enjoy
like,
that.
if someone like digs around and tries to stick something in there or like search, like they're gonna find the box, not look in the horse.
It's really nothing to think. I just wanted to know if it was still in the horse, which I love.
I should say I picked a horse because I have a Animal Crossing card of Roscoe, so a black
Aw.
horse is just like sitting above my
Staring at
desk.
you.
Aw.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So
So
it's a black horse.
I
A
love it.
dark horse, even.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So y'all exit this office. You shut the door behind you. Try to leave it as you found it.
As much as we
Do
can.
you like
we
put the
tore
door
up
and
a
everything
desk.
back?
Try to.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta set the stage. It's like whenever you go sneak into. You know what? Never mind. Let me not finish that. We'll just put everything back.
Okay, you put it back to the best of your ability. It isn't hard. The office is already a mess. Like, if there isn't anything out of place, no one's probably going to notice that you didn't get it back 100% perfect, because the rest of the office is a disaster. And so y'all head out, and as you crest into one of the hallways towards the direction of the DART facilities, you hear running footsteps towards the hub that you're in. And as you you can tuck away around a corner, and as you look, you see a harried looking, frantic Dr. Hal Robinson. He's wearing like some sort of metal band around his head. He's looking around frantically, and he makes a beeline for the office. And that is where we're gonna go on break.
What? Wait.
Okay, fine.
Remember
I
that
don't care
stealth-
what he's doing anyways.
Remember that stealth check you failed on your way to the Charlie Gate?
Oh. I was wondering if I was gonna bust, to be honest.
Well,
Excellent.
it's fine.
So we're gonna take a little bit of a longer break than normal, 15 minutes. So everybody, walk around, shake it out, get a snack, use the bathroom, all of that good stuff. And when you come back, the Infinite Horizon season recap will be playing for you, and we will be back in about 15 minutes to conclude our Loop Tales. We will see you all very soon.
I said the C word. Conclude.
We're just running through all
I
of these
am.
words we're not supposed to be using.
See
Jeez.
y'all soon.
Welcome to the Infinite Horizons Season 1 recap. If you're here, there's a good chance you've only heard of our show recently, or maybe you saw Season 1 but want a refresher before Season 2. Either way, this video will have you covered. Infinite Horizon is a science fiction superhero story set in an original universe. This character-driven actual play is Rule of Lore's flagship tabletop RPG show and is powered by the Cypher system by Monty Cook Games. Infinite Horizon is a distant future spacefaring campaign. While faster-than-light engines exist and are widely used, the longest distances are traversed using the spaceborne structures known as conduits. Relics of an extinct civilization, conduits use unknown technology to warp space around ships traveling through them. Conduits are a galactic neutral zone, and their existence allows exploration of a galaxy that would otherwise take millennia to traverse. The show takes place at a tipping point in galactic history. Two major governments, the United Systems Commonwealth and the Apex Ascendancy, stand on the brink of war over centuries-old disputes, while megacorporations stand to profit. The crew of Awakener find themselves with a newfound power to tip the scales. The show's setting features a breadth of alien cultures, but a notable feature of our setting is that humans are newcomers. Humans arrived in Infinite Horizons galaxy just over a millennia ago under mysterious circumstances. Their presence in the galaxy, therefore, is comparatively sparse. Supers in Infinite Horizon are also a recent development. The nature and extent of their powers remains a mystery. As far as the crew of Awakener know, they're the result of experimentation by some of the major corporations, particularly Silverbreak Technologies. The story of Infinite Horizon follows human PI Mason Frey, aspiring Anzalonian diplomat Peach Calreath, human career student Olam Ferber, and Orzai gearhead Bina Oba as they wake up far, far from home and begin to unravel the mystery of how they ended up there. This should catch you up on the state of the world at the beginning of Infinite Horizon. Now, let's get you caught up for Season 2. The story begins as four strangers awaken from cryosleep on a crashing corporate vessel owned by Megacorp Silverbreak Technologies. Working together to escape the doomed vessel, they discover that each of them awoke with new powers. Mason gained the power of hyperadaptivity, Peach the power to sense and manifest dreams, Olam learned gravity manipulation, and Bina's new powers enhanced her species' natural empathic ability and gave her control over light. Commandeering an abandoned ship still in the hangar, the four make their way to the surface of the recently discovered planet Eos to make repairs and get their bearings. Planetside, they discover a Silverbreak colony whose inhabitants had suffered a mass outbreak of mysterious mutations, resulting in many of them becoming zombie-like creatures the survivors called the Warped. Although details are sparse, they learn that an ancient artifact the researchers had been studying might have been involved. The four, along with the few survivors from the colony, repair the ship and make for space. However, as they're escaping, a corporate capital ship commanded by Damian Ellis, CEO of Silverbreak Technologies, jumps into range and begins an orbital bombardment of the planet in order to erase the evidence of the mishap. The crew and their charges manage to evade capture and set off to their new destination. Following cryptic instructions left to them during their escape by someone named Wire, the crew travel to Sulon, a city located in a hollowed-out asteroid. In transit to Sulon, some of the rescued colonists decide to stick around permanently, among them an Anzalonian doctor named Abriel and a young human mechanic named Jade. They've barely touched down on Sulon before finding out that Silverbreak has pinned the destruction of the colony on them and branded them interstellar terrorists. The crew run into some bounty hunters and are bailed out by an associate of Wire's named Zaya. After dusting themselves off, Zaya takes them to meet her. Upon meeting Wire, a human hacker, she explains to them that Silverbreak is responsible for creating powered people such as themselves. She's been working to undermine the Corps for several years and hopes to enlist the crew's help in the fight. When they agree to help her, Wire sets about sending the rescued colonists underground and creating a new registration for the crew's commandeered ship. As they prepare to leave, a holographic entity named Alma introduces herself as part of the ship's systems and forms a quick bond with Bina. Though Awakener's not a new ship, Alma has no memories prior to the crew's arrival on Eos. With new purpose, they depart Sulon in their ship, now named Awakener.
Pursued by corporate security and wanted by every major government, Awakener's crew decide to lay low for a bit. During their brief stop on a neutral space station, they pick up another passenger, a Voxora named Patch, who is less than forthcoming about their reasons for staying. After departing the station, Abriel presents test results that indicate artifacts like the one on Eos are linked to their superpowers. Shortly thereafter, the crew's plan to lie low, is derailed when they decide to involve themselves with a group of freedom fighters vying for independence from their tyrannical ruler. During a daring mission to advance the cause of the freedom fighters of Zolaterra, the crew are confronted by a dangerous adversary in the employ of Silverbreak. An individual with the power to mimic their own powers nearly proves too much for them. Although they manage to drive him off, the fight serves as a chilling example of what they are up against. Fearing their presence may draw more heat onto the freedom fighters, the crew of Awakener depart Zolaterra. Unfortunately, the crew's fears are not unfounded. Shortly after departing Zolaterra, they find themselves pursued relentlessly by Silverbreak ships. Worse, a suspected traitor has sabotaged Awakener, preventing their escape. As the crew race to stay ahead of the corpse and hold the ship together, they discover a Nelfin stowaway named Sedona, who Jade befriended and has been keeping secret for months. Tensions run high on Awakener as the crew realize how little they actually know about each other. Bina is startled to find that Alma is more than just a hologram, as everyone, including Alma, had previously thought. As the crew race to stay ahead of Silverbreak, they discover that the traitor is none other than the ship's doctor, Abriel. Alma enacts a plan of escape that puts her newly discovered physical body at risk, and, despite the risks, her plan succeeds. Alma is released from stasis, and the crew are finally able to give Silverbreak the slip. In the aftermath, Alma discovers that her ability to interface with the ship remains intact, in spite of her no longer being physically connected. Abriel explains that Silverbreak is holding her sister hostage to elicit her compliance. The crew confer and decide to help Abriel get her sister back. With their ship repaired, the crew follows a lead Wire passes them in order to learn more about the artifacts. Traveling to the border worlds, they meet Professor Alessander Tenoris, an archaeologist devoted to studying the ancient culture allegedly responsible for creating the artifacts. Tenoris has contracted someone to recover an artifact for study and asks them to assist in its retrieval. Instead of the artifact, the crew finds an apologetic pirate named Captain Desiree, who, reluctantly, explains that she has lost the artifact and her ship to mutiny. Not to be deterred, the crew of Awakener follows the artifact's trail to a pirate haven, discovering that some of Captain Desiree's crew have suffered the same mutations as the colonists on Eos. After escaping the Warped, the crew meet a pair of smugglers named Orioto and Ruck. The two outlaws deliver the bad news that the artifact is at an auction run by a notorious Border Worlds crime syndicate, the Duraga Gang. With Ori, Ruck, and Desiree's help, the crew plan to steal back the artifact. After picking up some party-appropriate threads and other supplies for the heist, the crew fly to the auction, where Captain Desiree's former accomplices have become a part of the Duragas. To further complicate matters, the artifact's buyer is the crew's least favorite CEO, Damian Ellis, who attempts to apprehend them mid-heist. Thanks to their superpowers and a lucky distraction, the crew escape and interrupt Desiree's former crew as they attempt to secure the artifact. The crew of Awakener recover it, and Desiree wins back the loyalty of her shipmates. Ori and Ruck join Desiree, and the two crews part ways.
Having recovered the artifact, the crew head back to study it further. Wire asks them to pick up Zaya from her mission on the way. Finding her in the midst of a firefight, they swoop her up just in time and are once again on their way back to Sulan. Zaya is not alone, however. She introduces them to Becker Shaw, an old friend of hers who has the power to create portals. Upon returning to Sulan, Wire informs them that Abriel's sister is being held aboard a ship that is also transporting 100 powered individuals. She's still working on tracing its position, but in the meantime, she has arranged accommodations for them on Sulan while they prepare. During their month-long stay, Awakener gets some upgrades, the artifact is contained so as not to risk more mutations, and Becker departs to put his intelligence training to use, finding the transport ship. Peach involuntarily makes psychic contact with the power mimic from Zolaterra, seemingly through the artifact, and Mason receives a video message from his ex-wife. Their month-long vacation on Sulan comes to an abrupt end when Wire, detecting a space-time distortion, calls an emergency and summons the crew back to her bunker. The crew return just as a mysterious stranger appears in their midst. The Kamathi newcomer hastily introduces himself as Taeon, a super with the power to travel through time. He traveled from the future to prevent his nemesis, Entropis, from altering the timeline. As the crew prepare to rescue Abriel's sister from Silverbreak, Taeon reveals to Alma the reason behind Silverbreak's interest in her in Awakener. She was the first super known to exist, and is therefore the blueprint for making more. Armed with information from Taeon and Wire, the crew of Awakener depart to rescue Abriel's sister, Liaralai, from Silverbreak. The crew split up, diverting security and breaking Liaralai out, along with the imprisoned supers. In the chaos, Jade and Becker are pinned down. The crew's attempt to rescue them is halted by Entropus, but Taeon averts disaster by reversing time, preventing Entropus from destroying them. Moments later, the villain is betrayed by the Power Mimic, allowing the crew to rescue Jade in the confusion. Becker is nowhere to be found. After recovering Jade from corporate security, the crew escapes Silverbreak's clutches. During the escape, Peach discovers that the Power Mimic is her own brother, Vix, who is captured and brainwashed by Silverbreak. With Entropus' plan foiled and the timeline restored, Taeon travels back to the future. Having liberated Abriel's sister and a gaggle of supers, the crew set course for Sulon. Upon returning, Wire and the crew of Awakener offer the supers a choice between joining the resistance against the corporations or being discreetly relocated. Afterwards, Wire pulls Peach aside to tell her that the time for the resistance to operate in the shadows is over, and that they need to take more direct action. She asks Peach to consider leading the new resistance. Now that the crew have some room to breathe, Alma decides that it's time to try and recover her memories. Through the use of her powers, Peach takes Bina and Alma into Alma's mind, bypassing the barriers on her memory and revealing several critical pieces of forgotten information. First, Alma remembers that she was an exoanthropologist contracted by Silverbreak Technologies to identify the ship that would become Awakener. Next, Alma recalls her discovery of an artifact hidden in the depths of the ship. And most disturbingly, she remembers seeing a conduit constructed by Silverbreak, the existence of which could spark galactic war. Unfortunately, the crew doesn't have time to process these revelations. Corporate security floods Sulon in search of the crew and the rescued supers, somehow having traced them back. At nearly the same moment, Vix contacts Peach through their mental link and urges her to meet him alone in the Sulon's core. While Alma and Jade prep Awakener for launch, Bina, Olm, and Mason work to ensure everyone's safe evacuation, and Peach leaves to confront Vix. Peach attempts to reason with her brother and convince him to join her and turn away from the corpse. Caught between his familial ties and corporate conditioning, Vix's brain short-circuits and he collapses unconscious. Meanwhile, yet another problem presents itself. Sulon is racked with tremors as the Silverfall, flagship of Damian Ellis, plows into the asteroid, its reactor core only minutes from overloading. Thankfully, Bina Oba is on the scene. She rushes to the Silverfall and discovers that it's crewed by the Warped. On her way to the engine room, Bina encounters a strike team led by Tamsin Trethaway, a high-ranking Silverbreak employee hunting Ellis. Trethaway reveals that Ellis has been operating outside of Silverbreak's interests for some time, and offers Bina a truce until the current emergency is resolved. With Trethaway and her team's assistance, Bina prevents Silverfall's reactor from overloading and atomizing Sulon. Back in Sulon, Peach runs into Professor Tenoris, Wire, and Zaya as she is relaying an unconscious Vix back to Awakener. As they make their way through the tunnels, the artifact calls to Peach. In the moment, she decides not to gaze long into the artifact and continues through the tunnels as hastily as she can. With the emergency contained on the Silverfall, Trethaway allows Bina to leave, assuring her that she already has what she wants. While this statement is unsettling, Bina is not about to question it and leaves. On her way out, Bina is surprised yet again as Becker teleports himself and Jade into her path. Becker rapidly explains that both he and Jade have been in custody on Trethaway's ship, but used the commotion of Sulon's assault to break them both free. Bina, bewildered by their sudden appearance, is faced with one ominous question. If Jade had been in Silverbreak custody since the rescue, who's on Awakener? As the crew reach the warehouse where Awakener is hidden, Silverbreak troops begin pulling out as Warped from Ellis' ship rush into the city, making a beeline for the crew's location. The crew watch helpless as the Jade imposter launches Awakener and escapes with an unconscious Alma. The situation grows desperate as the Warped converge and the artifact reaches out once more to Peach. Peach has little choice but to reach back with her powers and converses with the artifact in a mysterious dreamscape. She taps into a power within the artifact and connects not only to all of the Warped, but every powered individual in the galaxy. Peach uses the moment of tremendous power to destroy the Warped on Sulon. With corporate security and the Warped gone, the crew escape with the rescued supers on one of Wire's old freighters. In a final confusing twist, the Silverbreak ships around Sulon allow their passage, and the crew jump away. In the last bittersweet moments of the season, the crew share a moment of solidarity and vow to get Alma back, no matter what.
And with that, you're ready to go for the beginning of Season 2 of Infinite Horizon. Thank you so much to our fan artists who created all of the amazing art you've seen during this video. For more community art and discussion about the show, you can check out our Discord, with link in the description. If you're curious about the homebrew setting, there's another link in the description to our quick guide, which briefly covers characters, aliens, and all the other stuff we've dreamed up. Season 2 of Infinite Horizon premieres on October 28th. You can catch us live every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/ruleoflore. We're so excited to have you along for the ride, and we'll see you the next time you decide to come roll with us.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed our Writer's Room recap and all of the beautiful art done by all of our community. Thank you to everyone who submitted art for that, and who just has done art. It's great. Looking at all that is so much fun. So I hope y'all are intrigued about Season 2 of Infinite Horizon, or at least just got a fun little story told to you during break. But now, we gotta go back to the loop. We got some mysteries to solve. We got some wild scientists to evade. Let's see here. Let's jump back in. Let's turn some music on. Ooh. I don't know if this is quite the tunes I'm looking for here, but that's fine. So y'all see Dr. Hal Robinson rush into this office and just tears it apart. He is pulling through files. He is pulling things off of shelves. He is looking through, like, under the desk. He is pulling open boxes. He is tearing this office apart. And y'all are across the way from him, unseen at the moment.
How much noise is he making in the process of this?
A significant amount.
Does there appear to be a clear path for us to get out without him noticing us?
Y'all are in the hallway the direction you need to head down, so you can just keep moving if you wanted to.
Seems like
walk, but very quickly and quietly. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone like to make a stealth roll.
No, I don't want to make a stealth roll.
So
Don't want
I'm
to.
wearing my soccer boots.
Yes, your soccer boots. You can use their iconic items. Excellent. I love that. So get your bonus too.
Wow,
I got
one.
I got none.
2, 45. Okay.
You need 4
You got
total.
Help!
We need 4 total.
TJ.
3.
Oh yeah,
Two
yes,
successes.
yes, you got everybody. Okay, hold on. Is there bonuses for sneak? Others, because you can give one for yourself, one you can give to Ferris, and then one. Let's see if there's an extra. I'm not sure. Give it another success for Kid. You find something unexpected or more of what you were looking for, or if there's something else that you can think of that could be helpful here.
Oh,
You can ask or you can make something true about your movement here, like if you want to get creative with it.
yeah. Okay. I don't know if this is allowed, but could there be like in the maybe in the room on the other side of the office that Hal is like searching through, maybe the computer that still has a little bit of life in it and just kind of sparks enough to make a sound that maybe thinks we are in that office, and that gives us a little bit more time to get away.
Yeah, so y'all are like, so if the central hub is here and the office is down here, y'all are, it would be, central office is kind of in this area. Y'all are headed this way, like already in this hallway. So you don't need to cross that area at all. But yeah, we can make something true to the scene where like he hears movement down one of the other hallways and assumes that it's you. It'll give you advantage later. I'm into that. I can take that. We'll do that. So y'all continue very quietly down these hallways in the direction of the DARPA facilities. Or sorry, of the DART facilities. In the DARPA facility. As you're going, you seem to be, from everything you know about this like EMP wave you saw, you're nearing the epicenter. Things are, a lot less lights are on, a lot less functionality is happening. It's dark. It is dark in here. Only about half of the emergency lights are on, but you've still got that like red tinge to everything. And eventually you start coming up on a room or a lab or an office or something. You're not sure yet because you're not there. You hear movement coming from it. Not voices or anything, but like people moving through it. Things being moved around.
Can we tell how many people or what's been being moved
Maybe
around? Is it like rustling on papers? Like,
Maybe some papers, but mostly it sounds like metal, maybe tools on a countertop, clacking, like input, some type of key input, footsteps. There are multiple people. You're not 100% sure how many, but there's definitely more than one.
Okay, I think this might be where everyone is. I guess you're right, Zach.
Does that mean it's time to try and figure out a distraction?
I mean, unless we haven't met opposition yet, and maybe if there's people at our end destination, that's where we kind of maybe round back here to make a distraction. But what do you think they're doing? What do they...
Maybe trying to fix everything?
Probably. Hopefully. Oof.
As
So
you're
I
talking,
No, go ahead. You go first.
I was gonna say, as you're talking, someone leaves the room that you're in and starts walking down the hallway, not towards you, but the opposite direction, the direction you had been heading. And it's just someone in a lab coat. It looks like there's like some like burnt, maybe like an electric charge went off. It's not like on fire or anything, but like there's like a scorch mark on like the white of the coat. You don't recognize them, but they seem to kind of be in a daze. Like this doesn't seem like an individual walking with purpose. Like this is kind of slowly moving, kind of... The second that you saw their face, there was kind of vacant as they turned and kept walking away. They didn't seem to notice you, but you see this.
Yeah, do you remember when, you know how you read in House Notebook about possibly it being able to manipulate people? I think it's manipulating people.
Could it be trying to get everybody to make it a new key to get out?
Or fix the arch. Maybe there was damage done.
Yeah.
Maybe they won't notice if we go in there.
You see another person walk out with a handful of tools and a tiny case walking in the same direction as the other. Same dazed, same slow meandering.
Maybe they're trying to help us.
Do you think you can talk to it again through the calculator?
I could try. Hi, are you here? We're right outside the arch. Send it, I guess. It's like
You just gotta hold it and like you sit for a second. You wait a minute or two, and during that time, another couple of people leave this room. No one seems to be coming back in, but they all leave with a handful of tech tools, items, and head in the direction that you had been heading.
Do you... no reply? No interdimensional reply?
I think
got left
that
on red.
the people that keep coming out might be the reply. Probably can't answer because they're busy.
Do we want to follow them?
No.
Where are they going?
That's
No.
where the hell is.
Not the way behind you.
Yeah,
Hal is
but-
behind
okay.
you. The way that you're headed, they're going the way that you were walking in the first
Oh,
place.
okay.
So not backwards.
Okay.
As you're talking, another person leaves with a large crate, and then there is no more sound in that lab.
They might be fixing it.
Yeah. What does the lab? What's the lab labeled? Like, does it have a label on like out? Like, you know how some labs have the tag?
Yeah. Robotics.
I guess we are following them.
Guess we gotta.
As you're all-
Eris,
Might make it easier to blend in, just to, walk the walk.
Ooh, blending in. Can I hop into the lab and see if there are any coats?
Absolutely, there are. There are coats, there are goggles, there are like clipboards.
So
Yes.
Beaker just starts pulling out some coats, some goggles, like gloves and stuff like that.
Maybe
like,
not in the robotics lab actually, but any of the open doors you could probably find like a extra closets full of things like that, gloves, stuff like that, extra safety things.
They start pulling that stuff out.
Oh yeah, I'm into this.
We're dressing up.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does everyone put on? I want to know what y'all are. How do y'all dress up?
I think
Now go to-
Beaker tries on like 5 different coats and none of them fit.
Yep.
So they just try to find the smallest one they can. And then like they put some goggles on over their big glasses. So like it's just big. Their face is just like swallowed.
Good.
They look like a little kid wearing their parents' uniform.
Good. Perfect.
I think TJ's probably got like I don't know, he's probably, if it's robotics, there's probably like overalls or something like that.
Sure. Yeah. Why not?
It's like, I don't know, something that they wouldn't mind getting messy. I imagine they probably wouldn't wear lab coats for.
Yeah. If there's like a soldering things in here, I'm sure they have like coverall stuff. Yeah. Absolutely.
So he has
for sure.
he has coveralls on.
Perfect.
Probably too big for him still, but he's rocking him. He probably like rolled up the legs of him. He's got probably gloves on that are usually used to protect from like getting, if they're working with like soldering or something like that, probably protect his hands. But again, they're too big. But he loves it. He thinks he looks pretty cool.
Yes, excellent.
And probably just got, I don't know, a random, I don't know if they roll for this, but there's a random tool around, like a wrench.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you can pick any. Just pick up a random.
He just probably holds it like, this is how you hold it, right? I look like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent.
I think Ferris is going to go for the jacket and take some goggles to push their bangs up, but then they're also going to look for some gloves and try to find some sort of scissors or sharp object to cut the fingertips off.
Yep,
so
you
they
do
can be
so.
fingerless rubber gloves.
Good, perfect. Yes, excellent.
Zach's gonna get just a lab coat, but specifically, if any of the lab coats are like labeled, he's gonna try to find like Hal's one and like grab his.
I will say
Fuck
you
him.
probably this is just like a extra supply cabinet, so none of them will probably have names on them, unfortunately.
Okay.
Also, it doesn't seem like robotics is really his specialty, so I don't think you'll find Hal's, but you could find a pen and mark it up if you wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still gonna do it.
Cool, excellent.
Are you into identity fraud now?
When
Yeah,
it's this
cure.
guy, he kind of sucks.
Why would you want to be a guy that sucks?
So I can be the guy that rocks.
I don't think that's how it's supposed to work.
It doesn't at all, but maybe if they see like Hal on, if they're all like brain confused or something, if someone sees like Hal on my coat, maybe they'll look another way or something.
Someone's gonna come up to you close enough to read your chicken scratch on your lab coat and see the name and then react to it, completely ignoring the 14-year-old standing in front of them. That's what's gonna happen.
Okay, but no offense to you, Beaker, but look how tall Beaker is and wearing all of that. Is this really going to be the matter of concern that we have at the moment about this? I'm just...
And like,
You're
look
right,
how
I'll
big this
drop
thing
it.
is on me, and they like do kind of like the flappy thing.
I mean,
it makes the
we could just like set each other's shoulders and be like one big person. I mean, that could be a thing.
2 kids in a lab coat.
Can you run stably with someone on your shoulders?
I probably could. I don't know. I've never tried it
I
before,
don't
but I
think
probably
that's
could.
something we should risk.
You hear a crash from the direction of the central hub.
Time to go.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go.
I think it's time.
You head down in the direction of the way that the seemingly dazed researchers are headed, and it takes you a little bit, and you kind of end up in the direction of where you start to see the like this hallway towards the DART facilities. You make your way down and you start to hear more like movement. You hear tools being used, like mechanical tool or electric tools. So like you hear kind of whirring and stuff like that. And you turn a corner and you see just down the hallway there is a lab with a like large open door, like a big double door where both of them are open. And you see some light from there. You see movement of people walking, and as you've moved your way down here, if you've looked in any of the, like, you're across from a lab right now, and anything that is large and mechanical is either nothing is happening, or they're like, every once in a while you'll see something kind of like fritz out, like blow sparks. A few labs you've passed have had shaking or jittering pieces of technology every once in a while. It's like a and as you get closer, you pass a lab where you can see small pieces of metal or tools or things that have begun to like lift themselves up off of desks and things. Maybe there's like a screwdriver that is like the metal part has lifted up and the plastic base is still kind of like weighted to the ground. Things seem to be having trouble with standard reality in this part of the lab. But you see... This
is what TJ bought the ball bearing for. He pulls it out and holds it up to see if it floats.
How many do you have? One? How many do you have?
I said one, but one. I'm gonna say a couple, yeah.
Okay, so you have like 5 or 6 and you pull them in your pocket, and before you even uncurl your fingers, you can feel them pressing at when you open it, and they kind of not high, not big, but they do lift and spin in front of you, all of them above your hand. Kind of have to move to make sure that they worried that they'll drop, because that's how gravity works and your brain can't really fully comprehend the way that they're moving, but they remain suspended.
Hey, look, TJ, you're doing magic.
I mean, if I would usually be very excited about this, but like, it's not me. It's an interdimensional being, and I don't know how to feel about it. It's very cool though, and like kind of like basically plays marbles in the air, kind of like knocks one with the other.
They kind of like they get that little bit of like force, and then eventually kind of slow down and kind of spin out in front of you.
Very cool.
It actually kind of is.
Kind of splayed out in front of you down this hallway. And as you kind of focus back down, you kind of rack focus down, you see some people walk in and out, back and forth between these two perpendicular? Parallel? These two doors that face each other, basically.
Parallel, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well...
I think it's going to get harder to stealth.
They might not notice us.
We just need to look absent-minded and bored. I do that all the time.
Will that work?
I mean, we're dressed like them now. We'll totally blend in.
Exactly, that was the whole point.
If we stay back and kind of stay out of direct, maybe line of sight for a lot of these people, it might be harder for them to see us. So we could, if we stick to the walls, like to begin with at least, and see where people are moving towards.
Like a herd of zombies.
Do you think my mum is one of the zombies?
Well, okay, wait, let's not call them zombies, because that's
your
just
dad?
inaccurate. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Let's be optimistic. It's just a bunch of random people.
Manifest.
Okay, let's go.
Alright.
It's gonna be fine.
Alright, you head towards these two rooms. One of them appears to be like just like a standard lab. It's got desks and or like I guess longer tables with like tools and things, and the people who had been walking down from the lab you were just in seem to be bringing things in and placing them in here. And some people are in there like seeming to be like looking through them. And to your left, with the two big double doors, is a large room, and in the center of it is a sort of platform, and there is what you recognize from the schematics, is the arch. It is a not gigantic, but still large piece of tech. It is probably whoever the tallest of you is probably just slightly taller. It is these two kind of arms that start wide at the base and narrow up towards the top, and it has a sort of a flat base, and there is a portal through it where there is empty space, and there are people working on it, and people from the other room who are pulling in and bringing tools, and it seems like they're looking for solutions, if you would guess. Like, looks like things are being attempted and maybe succeeded. You're not 100% sure. But things in here are floating, some things are fritzing out, and it looks like, as you sit and watch for a second, it looks like some things are breaking as they fix them.
Of like the kind of like tools that are maybe floating around, are like the people that are like interacting with them, are they like acting, like are they acting as if they are kind of existing as normal? Like if like if a screwdriver was sitting on a desk, like normally, would they be reaching for a floating screwdriver as if it was sitting on a desk, like completely flat?
No, they seem to be aware of where everything is, and they are moving almost mechanically and in tandem. If one person reaches out a hand and two people down the line at the same time reach out and grab a tool that is off to the side and pass it down to that person with no words exchanged, it seems to be some... You would say, if this weren't the most bizarre thing you've ever seen, possibly a very well-oiled machine, but it doesn't quite seem like a bunch of people who are just very familiar with working with each other. It seems a little bit a step further than that.
Do we just go out there? What
We gotta put the keys together, and then find where they go.
I'd like
Like,
to see if I can figure out if there's anything in the room that looks like it should be, like a key should be put into it, like from where we're standing.
So y'all have seen the schematics, and you know that off to the side nearest to you of the arch, there's a control panel where adjustments can be put in. There is like an input bit, and that is where the keys connect together, are put in, and activated. And that's you're aware of where that would be.
Okay.
And as you're looking into this room, as you're kind of standing there, let's see, TJ, you feel a sort of buzzing in the back of your skull, kind of the back of your mind, that kind of, and then snaps out entirely. And as you're kind of realizing this happened and noticing this, in tandem, the three people who are nearest to you all like swing around and look at you.
At me specifically?
At all of you.
Oh. I think they noticed us, they noticed me, they...
Breathe, relax. It's all good. Nothing to look at over here. We're just,
One of them steps forward towards you, and everyone in the room stops working, like frozen, like middle of what they were doing, full, like someone pressed a pause on the room, except for the person who comes towards you, and it's a woman maybe in her like mid-40s. She's got kind of like what probably used to be very well kept curly, like curled hair, but seems a little disheveled. She's got like some like maybe grease or something across like her face, and she approaches you expressionlessly, just a few steps forward, and kind of like leans forward and looks at you, and says, "It recognizes you."
I just have one of those faces.
And it says, "No, familiar."
It's us from from the graveyard.
It knows you.
Beaker
From-
holds up the calculator.
And this woman nods, like in an exaggerated way, as if this is a learned mannerism instead of a natural one, and says, "Yes, it recognizes you."
We're here to help. Will you let us help?
There's like silence for like longer than it feels like it should, as if thinking or listening or something, and she says, "Yes. You have keys."
Sure do.
Yeah.
It wants home.
Yeah, we could do that. We could do that. We got it. We got it.
And she just kind of stares at you for a second and says, "How?"
We have the keys.
Yeah,
Yes.
should we get him out? Everyone want to get your key out?
You're like still staring like the lady dead in the eyes, still like. I've got
She's
the
looking,
keys.
but it doesn't feel like she's seeing. But yes, it's very much a like slack jaw.
Yeah, TJ pulls out his key from his bag.
Yeah, so it's like,
Don't forget to breathe.
She looks at all of them and looks at all of you and says, "How? It hasn't figured out. How?"
Beaker's gonna wander over to the control thing.
She turns and watches you and then looks back to the three of you.
I think Beaker is actually onto something. I think it has to do with the control panel there.
All right. Yeah, so y'all, do you follow or do you... Yeah, so y'all go and this individual walks that stilted way with you. Everyone else in the room is still frozen solid. Like literally if you pressed a pause, but like I said, on this room, just she's the only one moving. She follows you.
Do we see TJ and Ferris's parents?
Not in here. It seems like there's about a dozen people in here. There are definitely more people who work in the loop, but currently in this space there are about a dozen. But you do not see anyone you're familiar with.
So, okay, we walk over to the control panel. What does it look like? What do we see?
Currently, it is. So you see the place where if all three keys were together, it would be about that size. You see a keypad in which you could input things and a screen that is dark.
Oh,
And as you're hanging out in here, a piece of tech from the far wall, like a console, bursts out. And she looks over at it and looks back and says, "Its presence here is detrimental."
no, yeah. Have you seen what's going on outside? It's snowing. There's a storm.
It has seen. It was out.
We're kids.
Kids. Little humans.
Yeah. Beaker is the smartest person here, and I don't know if they can. Can you do robotics?
Well, why don't you put the key together and I'm gonna look at this notebook and we're gonna figure it out.
Oh boy.
yeah.
Okay.
I could try to put it together. Like, I think I got an idea from what Andy told me.
It can help you,
Yeah.
but it can't talk to you at the same time. It says it will help.
Okay.
Better than nothing.
And this woman's face goes fully slack again, and everyone in the room begins resumes what they were doing before. And she moves around, no longer engaged with you, and begins assisting with the side. It looks like they're trying to repair something like a blown fuse or something off of the side is what you're kind of dealing with, is that whatever is happening, they're trying to get it up and running. Maybe not by their own intention, but the fact that it's here is fucking with everything. And they also didn't have the key, so...
Let's get those keys together, baby. Let's do it.
Alright, you pull them all out, and all three of them, they're all identical. They all have that little bit of blue at the top. And you take two of them, and they snap together like a magnet. And the third fits in perfectly, just like a nice, like, solid click into each of them. And you have this, maybe about this round, this long piece of tech that kind of comes out in... each one is vaguely... like rhomboid in shape, so it kind of comes out like if you're looking at it from like a cutaway of it, it would kind of have like it wouldn't be uniform all the way around. And in the base, where you assume it goes into insert, has places that look like it connects to something. You would assume that is where you put it in.
Beaker, you want to handle being the one to put it in?
Sure. I can do this. Yeah, I can do this.
Are you sure?
No.
You can totally make Zach do it if you want to. You can peer pressure him.
You
It's
start to
pretty easy.
hear shouting
Together.
coming from down the hall.
Yep.
Put it in quick. Quick.
Put the key in.
Oh,
Yep.
now he
There we
wants to
go.
get it.
You put it in, and you turn it, and nothing happens. It
You
seems
gotta
like
figure out a way to
the
get
art
power
just-
back to it.
not functional yet. Yeah.
Maybe we actually need to ask it to leave.
I think that's actually a good idea. Okay, I will ask it.
Shouldn't we try to get Hal to not be in here? He's gonna fuck it all up.
We can do two things at once. I mean, I got old reliable.
And
Wait,
if
are
we
you gonna hit
send-
him with a crowbar?
If we send them out, they can block his way in. We need him to stay out more than we need it to stay in here
Wait,
right
wait.
now.
Go give it a trim.
You would assume you would need it in here to send it home, but you don't know what form that is going to take. There are doors on this lab.
Ferris, you want to run interference on a freako that's trying to capture a weird electromagnetic monster?
I mean, I can run interference as well. I'll help out.
What else am I gonna do, right?
That thing on his head is, I'm assuming, is to stop this, and he kind of gestures to everyone else.
One of the
So-
consoles near the door of this lab fully blows out, like sparks, everything, like basically a little bit of an explosion in this lab. Like,
Yeah, we
you're
need to get it out so that Zach and I can get to work.
Yes. So if
We're on
we
it.
can do both. We can, if we get the band off Hal's head and ask interdimensional person to jump into Hal and make Hal leave, and leave with Hal. Two birds, one stone.
But
No
what do we
one
do with
gets
all
it
of these
over.
people when they all aren't?
We hope they don't notice us and we run. I mean, I doubt they'd probably.
I don't
We
know
need
about
to
that
get-
one.
We need to get all of these people out of here.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure Mr.
You guys
interdimensional
can.
person can get them to leave as well, right? If we ask.
That's what I mean. Like, we talk to them, get them to leave. You guys can go with them and run interference with Hal. Get the thing off of Hal's head, and put it as and so that he gets taken over, and then send all the rest of the lab people away. Bring Hal here, and while you guys are gone, Zach and I will try and get this place running again.
Sounds good.
Then it'll come back and then we can send it on its way and maybe just kick Hal through the portal if that's what he really fucking wants. I don't know. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
I'm really angry with him. I'm getting angry
my
with him by
God.
the second.
You hear
Oh my
footsteps.
god, you have really made a rival out of this guy.
There are footsteps approaching, clearly down the hallway adjacent to you.
Okay, I think T just
are you
runs to the
doing?
nearest zombie and just goes, "Hey,
Everyone pauses. Everyone in the room pauses, and a man turns towards you.
you know how everything's going like blowing up is because you are here, not you, but like you are here. Could you, if you leave, these will stop blowing up, and we could fix it maybe."
And then you can come back when it's all done and fixed, and then it'll be, we'll get it
Yeah.
running.
And then, like, in the process, if you could you like jump? There's someone that's running down the hall. You probably hear them. If you could like jump and like get them to move as well, that'd be great.
The Hal Robinson.
Yeah,
Yeah, fuck Hal.
That's our guy.
Zach.
It says the Hal knows how to send him back.
So
There's a pause for a second where this person goes slack-jaw too, and then it comes back, the blinking again, and says, "It cannot control the Hal like it cannot control the kids."
weird idiots. But I think the reason why he can't control Hal is because the thing he's wearing on his head. So Ferris and I will help you out with that. Is that okay?
I will do
It
my
just
best.
blinks at you.
Go get him. Do it.
I just like turn to Ferris like, I guess we're doing
It asks where to go.
I kind of like look at everyone else like, where should they go?
Outside, be ready and waiting. Kick his head in and then take it over.
Zach!
You're throwing a lot of confusing instructions.
The man
out
says,
into here.
it cannot move us quickly.
Just far enough away that if there's another EMP, they won't get hurt. Somewhere safe on their way out.
He thinks for a second, or listens, and says, "If you help it, it will keep them safe." And then that big exaggerated nod.
And I guess
And-
anywhere is okay.
The individuals begin filing out of the hallway and down the opposite way that you came, and away. And if anyone is out by the door, you would see down the hallway from the opposite direction, the direction that you came from, basically like lunging around the hallway is a frazzled, frantic-looking man in a just fully disheveled shirt ripped off of one arm, with this strange-looking band around his head. With like, now that you're kind of closer than you're looking more than you were before, there's like a bit attached to the temple that has like blinking lights. And are you in the room, or does he see you standing there? There are
he
doors on
sees
this. There are
TJ.
doors on this lab. You could shut the door if you so choose to do.
He sees TJ because
Okay.
TJ is running at him.
Oh, what's TJ doing?
He's gonna slide tackle him.
Oh my god! All right, let's make
Take
some
out
rolls.
the ankles.
Oh
Gonna
my
take out
god.
ankles.
Okay, so body force. This is
I
a
think
fight.
that works.
Physically
And
stressful situation.
I'm wearing my football piece.
Yes, you are. Yes, get that iconic item.
I think that's nearly max.
Fuck yeah.
Do it. Oh my god.
Wow. I was trying to scheme how to get this guy. This is much more direct.
All right, 4 with force. You succeed. You have 3 bonus effects. Give a success to another kid. Impress, frighten, or humiliate. Pin your opponent. Take something from your opponent. Your opponent is knocked unconscious. You don't need to roll to overcome the exact same trouble in the future. You avoid any collateral damage.
I'm gonna take something from my opponent. I'm gonna take the headband.
All right, you knock him down to the ground, and you're able. He shouts in surprise. He went from like angry to just like fully like flat on his back. You take the band from his head. What are you doing next?
You
have technically two more effects if you should choose to take them, or manipulate the scene if you would like to use your successes for that.
I will pin him down.
Okay, cool.
I don't know how he knows how to do this. I don't know. Maybe he sat in on one of the wrestling matches. I'm like, I saw him do this once. He just tries out a pin. And
this is a person with not a lot of strength either. Like, he's a very tall, thin man. So you're an athlete, and you probably do more like physical action than he does. All right, do you have another thought that you'd like to make?
Oh, I got 3. Okay,
yeah.
Damn. I can't think of anything else. Does anyone else have an idea of why this is successful?
Could have Ferris being overhead with their crowbar, like threatening, like don't fucking move.
You want to frighten him? You can scare him. That's something you could do if you have Ferris there.
Yeah, Ferris can look vaguely threatening with a very large crowbar.
Yeah, you stand up above him. You have TJ in one fell swoop. You hit this man in the knees. You knock him to the ground. You pin him and you take this strange circlet off of his head. In a second, he did not know what hit him, and above him now stands Ferris, a teen with a crowbar who's looking rather menacingly at him, and you guys are also in your disguises, which is very cute. And he is just fully stunned, flat on his back, and he's like, whoa, okay, maybe put the crowbar away. We don't need to hit anyone in the head.
I don't think so, not just yet.
I don't think you want to see brains. It's pretty gross.
I've always had an interest, at least once.
No, I don't think. No, it's not great. It's bad. You don't know.
Oh, this is so much fun. This is so much better.
I think just like pinning him down is like, wait, hold on a second. Do you know what brains look like? You're saying it like you've experienced this, like something like that before.
Yeah. Have you never had to like dissect a cow brain in science class?
Ew.
That's kind of gross.
Maybe that's a senior high thing. And he's like trying to like cover his head, smash his skull in.
So why were you chasing us?
Because you have something that belongs to me, and he's kind of like looking at like side-eyeing Ferris.
I wonder why.
I didn't have anything.
You have several things, I believe, that belong to me.
Do we? One of the things that
didn't see your name on him, so
yeah. My bag very clearly has my name on it, and then he like covers it again. Also, you have my ID card, because how else did you get in here? That has my name on it. He's being very petulant for someone who's being pinned by two teens, but...
We are going to fix this.
The ID card doesn't mean anything to me because I can't read.
He just like looks at you like, what?
Don't judge, okay? Some people can't read.
He's like, do you actually think I can't read?
No, TJ knows. He's just going along with
still,
it.
we shouldn't laugh at illiteracy. Like,
No.
some people really just can't read.
Anyways.
We need you to help my friend fix this. So, if you help, I mean, I can't really promise because, Ferris is a wild card, but
He looks over at Ferris and then back to you.
But I at least can give you a maybe that she won't hit you on the head with the crowbar.
Maybe.
And he's clearly trying to put on like a menacing, brave face, but you've scared the shit out of this man. This adult man who's been frantically chasing you around for several days. You've got him in a corner, and he's finally like, fine. let me up. And he's like, starts pushing at you, like.
Yeah, I let him go, but I wave like the headband around as well. Like,
And he kind of eyeballs it and squints at you. And
something that puts on his head like a tiara.
he says, he looks at you and says, you don't even need that. And he starts,
Yeah,
and he's
apparently.
like, can we go? And he points over at the direction of the arch lab.
Yeah, let's go. I think Biko's working on it now, actually.
What were the two of you up to during this display?
Going
Making
anywhere
all
that
the
Beaker...
calculate checks. Making all the calculate checks.
So
Many calculate checks.
So this is going to be... Yes, this is going to be a multi-check. So first, you're right, it's going to be calculate, and then we're going to have to get into like a manipulate tinker is probably what's going to end up happening. But first, we need to understand what's happening. So with the help of your journal, I'm going to give you a bonus for that, and I'm also going to give you a bonus for help. So whoever wants to lead this check, you will get a bonus for having the journal information, and you'll get a bonus for having help from the other. We're gonna do a calculate check.
Don't I also have a +1 bonus from all of the questions that I asked
do.
earlier?
You do. I will give that to you. It was technically more towards like electromagnetic. So this is electromagnetic damage. So yes, you do get it. So you will have a +3 on this roll. And this will be a calculate roll to understand what's happening so that you can attempt to fix it.
Okay. I think you're probably gonna be our tinker because that seems like that's maybe more your jam, Zach.
Zach has the tinker.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I have the calculate, you have the tinker, so let's just do that. 2 successes.
2 successes. Excellent. All right. So this isn't a true calculate check because it's not like we're doing it to understand to be able to make the next check. But if you have 2 questions you would like to ask me about this situation, I'll let you do that. On top of like, this is just letting you two make the next check. But I will let you have 2 questions if you have 2 particulars you'd like to know about this. Calculate gives you, or 3. So if you succeed, you get 2 questions, and then you succeeded against, you get a third. So you'll get 3 questions. So there's options are, what is its purpose? How does it work? How can I use it? Who built it? What problems could it cause? Is it illegal? If you have any other questions you would like to ask that are more specific than that, you'll have 3 of them if you would like to use them.
Yeah, I think how do I use it and how can we fix it are like the 2 major questions that come to mind.
So to use it, it must be turned on. It needs the power essentially fixed. It's blown fuses kind of thing. Like the fuses need to be replaced to turn it on. And to use it, it must have the power turned on. You take the key, you insert it with the keypad and the screen that's available. You enter in the particulars, the specifics, which you do have in Hal's notebook, his theoretical how it goes. But you also have the last settings from when it appeared the first time, from when the last time it was used, essentially. That was a lot of words that were back and forth. You have the settings from the last time it was used.
So how do we fix this?
So
how do we get power to it?
So you're going to have to replace some things. Any part that you can see that has been blown out, you're probably going to have to find similar pieces and install them.
Okay, and last question. You got anything, Zach?
What are the things that we could do before Hal gets in like the room to try to fix this? Is there anything that like we could
you could
do
start
beforehand?
You could probably start pulling. We'll say there are 3 places that you can see are scorched and burnt out. You could pull them open and see what's been fixed. One of them has been replaced fully by whatever influenced team was in here before, but 2 of them still need replacement parts. So you could open them up probably in the time that they're out there. By the time Hal is walking in, you've discerned the pieces that have been burnt out and what you're looking for to replace them. And I'll say that's about as far as you can get before these 2 return with a gruntled looking.
So now we get to do a tinker check.
So, we're gonna do, it's gonna be the manipulate, so the tinker task. You now have Hal. Would you like to instruct him on what you're doing, or are you just gonna kind of have him around so you can keep an eye on him? Is he gonna help, or what's happening?
Gonna instruct on like the kind of maybe the places that we saw like very specifically need to be like fixed, but also like implore him to be like fix what's next and try to get him to keep going with like what we've already like noticed is clearly wrong here.
You feel sort of a tremor in an adjacent lab as you're kind of explaining this, and Dr. Hal kind of looks around and goes, the whole facility is destabilizing. If you'd let me catch it, we'd be done with this.
We are gonna fix this. Don't worry, just keep going.
You're a bunch of teens. You think that this is...
I tackled you to the ground, okay?
That doesn't mean you can
And
fix...
I still have a crowbar, man, so...
The
You
crowbar
want to
isn't...
keep talking to a bunch of teens?
He looks at you and says,
Yeah.
a crowbar isn't gonna fix a multi-million-dollar government project into teleportation, now is it? And
Can I
Yeah,
whack
you
him over the
can.
head with my? Can I whack him over the head with my large sword?
You absolutely can. Would you
Shut
like
up.
to roll for it?
Yes.
Wow.
You'll get a +2 because it's your iconic item.
Well,
All
Look
right.
at that, you awoken Vickers
so-
violence streak.
Are you doing it sneaky or are you just slapping him like with a force?
slapping him with it.
All right, body force, and you'll get a +2.
Great,
Can
because
I help? I don't know
No,
how.
this will be a single person roll.
I didn't get any successes.
No successes. You
Oh.
whack
Actually,
him. Whoop.
I would like to use a luck point.
You
'cause
do
why
it.
the heck
Do it.
not?
You can reroll all of it. Do it with that luck point.
Still no successes.
Aw.
It's
Oh
fine.
no.
That's okay. You
I think I rolled the exact same number as the second time.
Oh no.
You
It was
reach
meant
out
to be.
and you whack him, and it like hits him on the side of the head, and he just goes. And he looks over at you. He says, "Still not gonna fix the project."
Well,
If
yeah,
you keep
we're
standing
gonna-
here talking, of course nothing's gonna get fixed. Zach's pointing to all the places he needs to fix. Just keep going.
There's another rumble from the something nearby, and he kind of like looks pointedly at you, and he goes back to kind of pulling out all of these. There's essentially, I'll equate it to like fuses, like blown fuses in like a car. If you've ever been in there and pulled out all of the fuses, kind of like that, but at a larger scale. And so he kind of starts looking through, and he's pulling them out and putting them back in, and looking for ones that are burnt. And he kind of like looks around at all of you every once in a while and rolls his eyes. And the rest of you are clearly, whatever had been happening in here has been happening over and over again, because there are boxes with like covers removed, where like half of them of what you're looking for have been removed, and some are on the floor and burnt out. So like these things keep blowing out because of this creature, and so you can kind of go around and find replacement ones pretty simply, and you hand them to him, and he kind of puts them back in, just grumbling the whole time.
I think every time like he makes eye contact with TJ, TJ just like gives him like a threatening look. But the moment he looks away, TJ's like, oh my
Yeah, and you frightened him. You have successfully scared him, so he's like flinches a little bit and kind of goes back to what he was doing. Like,
Can I ask you a question, Doctor?
he doesn't. He gives you a side glance and looks back at what he's doing. And he says, "Do I have a choice?"
As much of a choice as you were going to give, that being that you were trying to capture, what makes you think that you have the right to do that kind of thing?
You see what it's doing to the town? Everything weird that's been happening over the past couple of days has begun because this thing is here.
All it wants to do is go home.
How would you know that? It doesn't
It
have a-
told me.
He clearly doesn't believe that thought that what you just said, and he goes back to pulling things out and starts.
We met
replacing
it
them.
in the robotic graveyard.
I think it tried to do the thing, like the
Mind
manipulate
control
thing.
thing that it's going to continue
Yeah.
to try to do.
It's only doing it because it wants to go home.
It was fixing stuff before you came in here. We just had to send it away.
He kind of looks around at all of the tools that are spread out all over the place and is kind of going to get it. Does someone want to make a, let's see, charm? A heart charm check to make him believe you?
My
Persuasion
charm's pretty
check?
good.
You do it, TJ. You do it.
Yeah, you do it,
I'll do it.
charismatic leader.
And you'll get, everyone has been kind of chiming in, so you'll get a bonus from your friends.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, you look real dumb right now, Hal. Real dumb.
Enslaving
successes.
sentient creatures is bad.
2 successes, okay. So we're trying to make him believe you, so you can have a bonus effect. Some of these don't really apply to making to a persuasion.
Make him
Like
feel
form a
bad.
lasting relationship. I don't think that's what that check would end in.
Make him feel guilty.
You want him to feel guilty? That can be something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
feel bad.
Yeah.
No.
So you succeed. He starts to believe you. Maybe not fully, but like what you're saying is starting to make sense to him, and he kind of like slows what he's doing. And he doesn't show any signs of anything but meta. You know that you've chosen to make him feel guilty, so there is a seed. There is a seed in his heart of guilt for what he was trying to do. And he kind of grunts and frowns and goes back to what he was working on.
All I can think about is if it were me, all I'd want is to go home too.
He frowns deeper at that. Like slams the panel shut and he goes, "This one's done."
Great, you can do the next one.
He rolls his eyes and gets up and grabs the cart that's next to him. And this one needs a different type of. It's still a similar thing where they're just. These ones are more of like bulb, like glass bulb looking things. They're elongated. But you can also find these there across the hall in the other lab. You find a box of these and bring them back in. And he has to start going through and uses a tool to like test the viability of the ones because it seems these might be harder to tell the difference between blown out ones and ones. So it takes him a little bit of time.
Do you keep hearing rumbles? I think you said it was from a lab room across the way.
Different areas, you start hearing rumbling, crashing, things blowing out. Basically, what you've already kind of suspected is that the longer this thing is here, the more havoc it's going to wreak upon its surroundings. You have no idea what's happening topside if this is all happening here.
Yeah.
The longer you're here, the more the things around you, smaller pieces of tech are maybe now a foot or two off the ground, and every once in a while, larger pieces of tech will creak and groan as the metal kind of twists and attempts to lift, even if it can't.
What's the source of the rumbling sound? Because I guess the little sparks and explosions is obviously like electronics going off, but what's the rumbles?
Are you asking me as the GM, or are you talking out loud to your friends?
I'm asking you as the GM.
Okay.
TJ's gonna like go to one of the rooms where
You're not 100% sure, but looking around, you know that this is a building full of a lot of highly experimental technology. Experiments could be reacting poorly to the increased electromagnetic charge in the vicinity.
Okay. I forgot about that. I think like TJ walks in like a little bit confused about what that sound is, and then when it clicks, he's like, "Oh!"
Yeah,
Like,
you
slowly
don't
closes the door.
know
like,
what's in here. If you spend some time, like, would you like to like spend time looking in labs and stuff? Because you could like, there's like papers you could probably see on boards like what's being worked on in some of these labs.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, if you look around, some of them are more. Some of them is just like a lot of math. You have no idea what those are. One room you pass through, it makes mention of like artificial intelligence. You don't know what part of the process they're in for that, but that's one of them. Some of the things, if you look through pages, there's the teleportation. There's a lot of stuff in the DART area that has to do with teleportation, because that's kind of their whole thing. A lot of the loop, a particle accelerator, has to do with creating new elements, compounds, materials, stuff like that. There is radiation research, also to do with a particle accelerator. There is a room that's closer to where you walked into this area that was cybernetics, advanced cybernetics. You even pass through some things that look like to you, it seems like what you understand, they're talking about making an artificial black hole. And that is where a lot of the major rumbling is coming from.
Oh. TJ knows enough about black holes to know that's not a good thing. Yeah, that's probably the room where he like kind of slowly backs out and closes the door.
Has the
and,
realization that, oh, this is, not great.
Yeah, he just hurries back in like, Docs, I don't know what you've been working on here. On like a scale of 1 to 10, how dangerous are black holes?
He has a moment of like confusion, and then you can see the dawning realization of, oh shit, I remember what my colleagues were working on. And he goes, oh, that's bad. Oh, that's not good at all.
And maybe we should work a little bit faster?
I'm working as fast as I can. And he kind of like goes back to the thing with kind of renewed vigor, but clearly could have been working faster. But yeah, he starts moving things. And eventually he snaps it shut, and he goes, where's the key? And he holds his hand out. Where are the keys?
Already in the machine.
And he turns over and walks up to it and starts looking at it, and he...
No funny business, you hear me?
You pointing the sword at him?
Yep.
Love it. And he kind of like pulls away from you. Fine. And he flips on a power switch that is behind, not connected to the arch, but like off to the side, where and some of the lights in the room, not many, but kind of blink on, and you kind of have to blink to adjust because it's been dark pretty much this whole time with a slight amount of those red lights. And he kind of like, he blinks as well and looks over, and you see the arch power up. All of any bit of lighting that was on it comes alive. The monitor on the side of it clicks on as well. And you see him walk over to it and kind of press on the key a couple of times and starts inputting. You stop him?
I stop him.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
you stop him.
I'm like, hold on, whoa, wait. I know there was like, I think we should put the button, like press the buttons. Because I'm pretty sure the settings you had is gonna capture the being, right? I remember that right? And I kind of look at
in his journal, he wanted to get all of the keys so that he could reprogram them to catch it. At their default setting, they are just open the gate.
Okay.
He's kind of holding his hands up.
I mean, TJ still doesn't really trust him. So like, because do we have the pin, like the keys in the notebook?
Yeah.
He squints at his property in your hands.
I think we can take it from here. Like, I think we got it, right?
Hmm.
Are you sure?
Step away, please.
Bunch of children want to run a piece of tech that has never been seen before in the world. You think you can run it and not break it and not doom the entire town of Boulder City to a black hole induced?
I mean, do you trust your notes?
Yeah, but I don't trust them in your hands.
Last time I checked, I could read.
Doesn't
And
mean
last
you can use
time,
advanced
you were
tech.
you were the one that broke it in the first place that made everything go nutso.
But I knew what I was doing.
Did you though?
Did you though?
Did you though?
He kind of like squints at all of you. He says, well, I was right, wasn't I? There's an interdimensional cosmic horror of a being that is currently in Boulder City, Nevada. So I think I
Cosmic
understand.
horror is like harsh. Don't.
Yeah.
No.
He just wants to go home.
It's not
A
meant to
cosmic
be
horror
here.
can still want to go home.
Well, it's not meant to be here, and it didn't choose to come here.
Actually, it's your fault.
Got a point there. Wouldn't be making this mess if you guys didn't bring it here to begin with.
And I'm trying to contain it so that we stop with the mess.
And we're trying to send it back so that the mess doesn't exist anymore. What's the problem?
Stop being
You're
so
research.
selfish.
You're
Science.
a real drag, Hal.
Why do you want to catch it so bad? Why do you need why do you need to catch it to prove that it all happened? Like everything in town is all messed up. Like that's proof enough, ain't it?
No, apparently not. Everyone in the loop thinks that it was just residual EMP from the gate opening trying to move things so far. No one took my word for the fact that we punched a hole into another dimension. No one thought it was real. Everyone thought that there was some weird radiation sickness happening, and that's why people were acting strange, so they locked down the loop. Did anyone believe Hal? No, they didn't. And now there's a creature running around.
Wait, hold on. Do you just call this?
Bro, did you just
refer
talk
to
in the
yourself
third
in
person?
person?
Yeah.
Difficult to believe a sycophant. Like, just saying.
What does that mean? Like, do you kind of nudge his friend like sycophant? What does that mean?
We believe you. We saw it. We interacted with it. We communicated with it.
Nobody believes kids either.
I mean, why do we need
Don't you
anyone
want to
to believe
prove
it
your
anyway?
experience with it too? Huh?
I mean,
no one will believe you either.
Why do we need to prove ourselves to anybody?
why does anyone need to know about this?
Man, you really need some self-esteem if you keep looking for external validation all the time.
He just frowns at you.
Have you considered going in for a psychology major first? Probably be
You know,
really
that would
good
be
at it.
so interesting.
Ferris reads you for filth, but she's still 14 years old.
Look, Mr. Hal, you're being like a huge asshole, but the point is that
Come on.
we still we know it's here. We believe you. We know it exists, and there's still enough here for us to research and prove that there was something. Maybe it'll take like 1,000,000 years for us to prove that it really existed. People didn't believe that like giraffes and okapi were real animals at like a point, but they're still real, and we still have they still exist. We can prove it, not with like a creature that's gonna destroy everything.
Yeah, now get the fuck away from the thing and let's do our work.
Exactly what you did.
Yeah.
So good. His eyes go really wide at that one, and he goes, "God, jeez!"
Look
And
what
then
you did.
you suddenly a console near the front door blows out again, and his arms fall limp, and
Oh,
he looks up at you and says, "It now knows what the hell knows."
All right, let's send you home.
it's just as weird when you speak third person, though it's not technically third person, but yeah.
When a grown man does it, it's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
Interdimensional being gets a free pass on this one.
It kind of looks at you and
Beep, boop,
says,
beep,
"It."
boop, beep, boop.
It says, "It isn't talking to you. I hear and translate." And they speaks very, slowly stilted.
Oh.
And it looks over at the thing in TJ's hand and says, "That's why."
Yeah, I
It couldn't.
figured. It reminded me of one of the comics I read recently. This character called Magneto, and and he wears
It says Magneto.
yeah,
That exaggerated nod, like listening.
yeah, and Magneto wears this metal helmet to stop his. They used to be friends, but then they ended up becoming enemies. But his friends had the power to, I guess, read minds. Not quite what you do, but yeah, he wears the helmet to stop that from
It reads
happening.
minds when
Oh.
it can be in them.
Yeah,
Why can't it read kids' minds?
yeah.
It doesn't know.
Um,
It thinks kids are different.
Oh,
It's okay. Alex, can you still hear us?
no, Zoom crashed for them.
Oh no.
oh no.
We can stall. It's fine.
Do y'all want to go on a BRB real quick? so we can have
I'm fine with that.
Alex
yeah.
here. Sorry, everybody. We will be back in just a second until we can get Alex back on call.
Yeah, we have to have her for the finale.
We'll be back. This might. Okay, we're good.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh god.
can you hear us, Alex? We'll be back. We'll be back in 1 second. Sorry, y'all. All right. Turns out we didn't need too much of a break, which is great. I'm very glad.
Ooh.
We'll jump back in. Don't remember what was recently asked. Oh,
We said, yeah.
thinks kids are different.
Well,
I guess we have like something about underdeveloped brains. I
Brain
remember something like
implants.
Okay, let's not go
Alright.
that far.
He says it says kids see more.
that. I mean, my eyesight is pretty good.
I don't think that's what it meant.
I think it means that
Just
we
let him have it.
we have a different way of looking at the world from adults. I mean, we all seen the way our parents are.
Yeah.
I think I kind of understand. And also, my parents' eyesight isn't quite very good either. I just in case, like, because it's still
Yeah,
kind
that
of.
means you might get glasses soon.
Wait, is that
Like if
genetic?
your moms
That's
have
genetic thing.
glasses.
Wait, no,
Yeah.
I don't think I look.
I think
good
you
with
look-
glasses.
Did you think
I
it was
think
a
you-
fashion accessory?
No, I didn't think it was a fashion accessory. I just didn't think it was genetic. I didn't think I could possibly wear glasses. What do I need to do not to wear glasses?
I don't know. I think you look good with glasses.
I think it's already
You
too
think?
late. You know,
What?
you're destined to be a Poindexter.
Wait,
Basically, too late.
how am I supposed to play football with glasses on?
You can get like sports
Goggles.
I'm not wearing goggles. Dude. I'm not wearing goggles.
Guys, we do have like the
Yeah,
interdimensional
we
being on
should
hold in
send
the
you-
room.
There's a rumble
Oh.
from
Right.
that echoes down the hall, and this Hal being puppeted by this cosmic being just is kind of like looking between all of you as you speak. No facial reaction or anything, but just like listening.
Can you tell us one thing before you go?
It says it can try.
Can you tell us what your world is like?
And there's a long pause. And he says, I don't understand what it says. And then there's kind of a frustrated look and a long pause of seeming like listening. And eventually, he says, it says it is home.
When you go back, is there a family waiting for you?
There's another long pause and he says, it says family is different, but they are all family. And it says like you are family to each other.
We shouldn't keep your family waiting and try to get you
Yeah.
home.
Mhm.
There's that big exaggerated nod. And it turns in
Beep, boop, beep, boop,
he
beep,
turns
boop.
in and kind of acknowledges the notebook that you have, but says it knows everything, and he starts pressing buttons that the Hal knows now, and starts pointing at like pressing and setting some things and adjusting them just slightly. There's a dial and it kind of clicks as it turns. and it goes, and the Hal puppet stands kind of near the front of the of this arch, this gateway, and turns and looks to you and says, "It says, turn the key when you're ready. It is ready to go home." And turns back and looks directly into this open area of the arch and stands there.
Will Hal get pulled in as well?
Are you asking?
No,
I just asked it out loud, like.
It turns to you and says, "It does not want the Hal. It says you can keep him."
Okay, I just.
What's
we don't really
its
want
name?
him either, but I just want to make sure.
What was that?
Does it have a name? We told it our names.
There's a quiet for a moment and kind of a furrow of the brow and says, "I don't understand it. It cannot translate for you."
That's okay. Kind of cool.
A friend is a universal constant, and that's what they can be.
There's that exaggerated nod, and he says, "It says you can call it friend."
Oh.
And there's a turn, and there's kind of a shuddering in Hal as he kind of falls onto his onto the ground, and he goes, What happened? What happened? How did I get?"
Let's
And
get the
he
key,
sees
let's
all
go.
of you standing over there, and you turn the key and press it in, and he goes, No. And there's a moment where the room falls fully silent, like that tinnitus feeling without the ringing. And this bluish indigo kind of swirling color happens in the archway as it kind of starts to emanate and then snaps, fully pulls apart. And as you watch kind of the numbers kind of go, start reaching up to the numerical values that had been put in, it kind of, the energy in the room changes. There's a crackling, an odd, weird sensation, and you can see as you're watching, as whatever energy is happening around the arch, you can see sort of a silhouette of not humanoid, but a shape standing in front, where above where Hal is just shouting at all of you, but it's dampened, you can barely hear it. And there is a cracking sound as you see this thing get jammed through, and a pulse, a huge, just cracking, earth-shattering sound, as every piece of tech in this lab, anything with a glass screen, either shatters or goes out. All of the tech, all of the emergency lights go completely black in this room. All of you are thrown back, not with bad injury or anything, but back. You hit a wall, you hit the floor, and then there is quiet. There is full quiet. The loop has been so loud during your travel down into this facility, and it is quiet. And you are once again reminded what true silence sounds like.
We stopped the loop.
You stopped the loop.
I think we should get out of here.
Are we all okay first? That's a better
Yeah.
question to start with. Can we all walk?
My back is just a little bit achy, but
You're a
I
little
think I'm
sore,
good.
but you get up and you can move and get out.
I mean, yeah, let's cheese it. We did
like-
what we came to do.
And as we were leaving, I was pointing at Hal, I told you, bunch of
He
kids.
is dazed and
fixed
on the
it.
ground. You get the idea that maybe he lost some time while being puppeted by this individual.
Yeah, I just point at how I said, a bunch of kids just saved Boulder City.
And he is kind of like rubbing his head. He is on the ground. You can imagine that perhaps being hit with this blast twice in 72 hours probably scrambled him just a little bit.
That's fair.
Mush for brains.
Yeah.
So,
Try not to open any more portals into other dimensions anytime soon.
he says,
Wait, is it actually possible? Are the keys salvageable from that blast at all?
Mhm.
Can Ferris take them out and just like fucking go apeshit on those?
"You want to destroy the keys?"
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you don't even need to roll for that. You have a crowbar, and these are little delicate pieces of tech. You smash them to pieces. And Hal kind of as soon as he sees what you're doing, he kind of gets like a, oh, ooh, no, and you shatter it. You shatter it on the linoleum
Oh
floor.
yeah, big man.
And he scrambles towards it, and he's like, oh God, what did you do? These are the only ones in existence. And he just is gathering the pieces in his hand.
And just like Donald Glover in that GIF. Good. Let's go.
You're welcome.
So what we're gonna do from here is we are going to cut to a few days later. Beaker, you are sitting in the clubhouse. You're reading or hanging out, whatever it is you're chilling. You are waiting for your friends. It's been a few days since you've even seen each other. With the second blast knocked out like half of Boulder City's electronics, apparently going in the reverse order for some sort of electromagnetic entity after punching a hole in reality, had detrimental effects a little bit further than the first time. The going into the graveyard was a little bit rearranged. You assume maybe something similar happened, but your clubhouse is still there. Your guardian awaits you unharmed. And after all of that, y'all got out. You can decide exactly what happened on your way out. But all parents kind of got a little skittish after all of that happened. All your parents are home safe and sound now. And they don't remember. A lot of anyone who had been in the loop through all of that doesn't recall a lot of what happened. The loop has been quiet now for several days while they are making repairs, and there have been other trucks that have been pulling in, bringing in personnel to do deep repair in the loop. You have all seen, the public hasn't seen, they just know that there was some sort of accident, and that there are extra hands coming in to help. School comes back tomorrow. You have not, because of the snow and because of everything, there has been no school, and so y'all have not seen each other again in a couple of days. And so now that things are coming back online, things are turning back on, things are being fixed, and the snow has finally melted in Boulder City, Nevada, you're all planning on meeting up, see each other for the first time since the incident. Who arrives first?
Probably TJ, I think, yeah.
You hear the clicking sound of a bike pulling into your little open area outside of your clubhouse deck, and in comes TJ. You see Beaker sitting out. Were you reading? What were you up to?
I was probably like leaned back against the duck, like the round curve, the duck, with like one leg thrown over the other and like a little triangle kind of thing. It's like kind of reading, like
looking up above you. It's evening. It's pushing evening, so the sunset colors are kind of coming through, and those odd pockmarked holes send those streaks through the dust above you in that just very pretty, very peaceful, good place to read. But your friend TJ arrives.
I think TJ, because that's how he has to enter like this. He just kind of walks in like, Beaker, and then see like Beaker's reading like, oh, Beaker.
It echoes through the duck off the walls, and then you say it again quieter.
oh, hey, Teach.
Hey, what are you reading?
Oh, this is a book. I got a couple more books about EMPs from the bookshop. Dad let me go out for like an hour or two yesterday, so I picked up a couple of the books that I read in the store, but didn't buy. Figure that if I'm gonna meet your mom, I should know a little bit more about what I'm talking about.
I mean, you don't have to like study. It's not. She's not
I
gonna
think I have
quiz
to
you.
study. I don't want her to think that I'm like dumb.
You're helping me with my math homework, so I feel like if she thinks you're dumb, she thinks I'm dumb, but she never says that. So I think like by like, I think it's called law of equivalence. I can't remember what I learned in math. By that, you have to be smart, at least smarter than me, which makes you smart. I don't know if that made sense. That makes sense.
It made sense, but
You
still,
don't need to study.
I want to.
Well, in that case, I'm not going to stop you then, as long as it's something you want to do. Also,
How is she, by the way? Did she see what happened in her office? Like how did that go? Does she think it was you?
I think she just blamed it on the blast. Apparently, it went pretty far, so I don't know. I kind of want to tell her because I still feel really guilty about breaking into office.
The keys are destroyed. Do you want to tell her that we also destroyed the keys? If she doesn't think that you had anything to do with it, maybe in this case it's just better not to tell her.
Okay, I'll try.
So from here we're gonna cut to, I'm assuming Zach is probably picking up Ferris.
Yeah.
Y'all are
Yeah.
just on the outskirts of passing the highway, which is open again. Finally, people can drive through town once more. So y'all, I'm assuming, do not take the highway way, but you've got Ferris perched, hands on your shoulders, and y'all are headed into the graveyard.
All right.
You pull up, y'all, the two of you, in the clubhouse, hear the clinking of the bike chain and a hard stop in the dust, and in walk Zach and Ferris.
What's up?
Hey guys.
Hey, how's your parents? Everyone good, right? Ferris, is your dad okay?
He's like kind of writing it off his old age and in fact from all the blasts, but yeah, if that helps him sleep at night, maybe I'll tell him the truth when he's older and he's ready to hear it.
Oh my, wait, can I do that? Wait.
Yeah, dude, you can totally do that. Parents do it all the time. Why shouldn't we?
Okay, I mean, at least knowing that I'm gonna eventually tell her makes us feel a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, we basically saved like everyone, so I think you can write off all the guilt. Like all the bad things have resulted in a really good thing, so it basically means that it didn't happen.
Is that how it works?
That's not
Absolutely.
how it works.
They'll still celebrate you as a hero even when you commit crimes.
Mm-hmm. You just do a really good thing and like not really bad things. Like it can't be like a bunch of really bad things and one tiny good thing. It's about, balancing out.
I think I'm gonna listen to Beaker. I think they might be just a slightly better role model.
I'm not that bad. I'm not even grounded.
Well, if you're not grounded, then why haven't you come over for dinner?
I've been self-reflecting at home, meditating. It's this new thing.
Ferris, you could just tell him that you've just been binging movies for the past couple of days.
I don't want to spoil the fact that I was working on a screenplay, but thanks for blowing my cover, dude. Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Thank you for that.
What's the screenplay about?
Yeah.
Well, I thought that since we just pretty much saved the world and had what is probably one of the most unique experiences around here, that it would be good to document it, for like posterity or something. It's not done yet. It's very.
You're writing a movie about us?
I mean, it's not like it's gonna be a movie yet. I mean, it's just in a notebook. But I mean, maybe someday if I like make a bunch of money off of something else, or I steal it. Who knows?
No robbing banks, Barris.
I'm kidding. I'm not gonna rob a bank. That's you know how long you have to case a joint to do that?
No, because
Hal
I've never
Robinson did it
considered.
in 2 days. Sorry.
And he didn't do it well. Disembodied voice.
Wow, why is the duck speaking to us?
The duck has
Maybe
a really
someday.
nice voice.
Maybe
Very
someday.
friendly. Yeah. Can you guys even believe that happened? We met an interdimensional being who couldn't even describe their world to us or tell us their name. That is so cool.
And we made friends with it. It thinks of us as a friend. That's neat.
Yeah.
I mean,
You did better than meeting a cryptid. You met a whole interdimensional being, Zach.
Something that
I did.
actually exists, which I still think kind of lends some credibility to aliens. Like they're like cousins.
yeah, I think that's true. The
I'm willing to-
interdimensional aliens.
I'm willing to maybe like fold a little bit on there being cousins. I'm not gonna conflate the two, but
So that's
They could
kind of
be
means
like-
that like I got proof before you of being right about something, right? Like I mean, just for the score books later in life.
we're gonna have to rework how this scoring system works maybe a little bit.
No fun.
So what now?
I mean, I don't think there's any other interdimensional beings we need to get home. So I think we can just
For
be
now.
normal. I don't say for now. That was fun, but I don't think I want to go through that again.
We were good at it, right? We were efficient. Utilized our team skills,
I mean, yeah. I'd
Beak,
rather
you're
utilize my
smart.
team skills on like the soccer field.
Zach's good at
Um,
digging through things. You're good at keeping your cool in a stressful situation.
Me?
Yeah, you did great.
You don't need to
You didn't
lie
have
to
like
me.
one meltdown.
I had many.
Nah, cool as ice.
That sounds like an adventuring party to me.
And I occasionally say funny things and grab crowbars. Like that's the whole team right there. That's all the skill sets you need.
I don't have any words to respond to that with.
You could say, yes, we will save another interdimensional being someday the next time it comes around because we were good at it.
I
We
really
have
don't wanna manifest that truth.
We have
I've-
experience now. We can work from experience,
We're
and then it's not
building
going to
a
be so frightening the
resume.
next time.
Beaker, you remember suddenly the book that you brought to the graveyard the first day you met this crew. A game that you hadn't had the chance to play yet, but we're really excited about.
Oh. Maybe while we're waiting for the next time we save the world, we could maybe play some Lord of the Rings.
Oh hell yeah! I want to be an orc wizard. Yeah,
Can-
I want to be an orc wizard.
You can be an orc wizard.
You can be anything.
Oh my god.
Sure, we could figure it out.
Yeah, you're going to have to help me build my character.
Beaker has a lot
we
of
should
books,
make them
right?
a dweeb.
I can do that. What do you think you guys would want to play with me?
Yeah.
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 Might I even say, fuck yeah, this time, yeah. I get to say it now.
Are we just saying it now? Okay.
I mean, you shouldn't get over eager.
Is that like our motto?
I don't think it should be.
It would set us apart from the rest.
What rest? We're not like competing with other teen gangs.
There are other teen gangs?
No, there's not. That's the point.
Don't think so.
This isn't even a gang.
I'm not even a teen.
We fail all of the criteria, so.
Your honorary teen, if that's what you want. I mean, you are in our classes, so I mean.
But I don't know. I think that what makes us special is that we're still kids. So maybe we should be kids.
I'm fine with that. Ferris,
Sure.
come on.
And so, with that, as you make plans to play your Middle-earth role-playing games, your Call of Cthulhu style games, your adventuring party to continue to be, we pull away from the clubhouse, over the graveyard, and we move across town. And then we're in the dimly lit bedroom of one Andy Pillay, lit kind of by the repaired desk lamp. We see him kind of operating on a small enclosed piece of tech, something that Zach brought him, with a couple of tools. There's the tinny sound of music playing from a Walkman out of the yellow foam headphones that kind of sit on your ears. And we move past him, over his shoulder, as he kind of bobs his head in time with the music, to the corner of the room where there sits a crate. It's kind of overflowing with bits and pieces of tech, a lot of which that Zach has brought to him. And there's a rattle, kind of jostling the contents, a whirring sound. And a faint greenish light kind of flickers and emanates dimly, faintly from the inside of this pile, diluted kind of from the center of it. And as we fade to black, that is where we end our Tales from the Loop.
Caitlin, how dare you?
I will physically fight you. Oh my god. What's happening?
They're gonna become like the Scooby-Doo gang. I can't wait.
Thank you all so much for playing Tales from the Loop with me.
Thank you for
Oh
DMing.
god, thank you for having us. That was so.
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna miss these kids
This is
so
wonderful.
much.
What are my Wednesdays gonna be now without them?
I don't know.
Oh, I know.
Well, next Wednesday we'll get to come back together and talk about all of your kids, any of your theories, everyone who's watching, thank you for hanging out with us. We went over about 20 minutes, which I was worried we were going to go way long, but it was perfect. Y'all are just every game have been perfection. Like every interaction has made me so happy. All of the things, any succeeded roll, any failed roll, every choice you've made was just absolutely perfection.
Oh, that was so much fun. Thank you, Caitlin. You're such an amazing GM.
Thank you.
Thanks for playing with me.
Thank you for inviting us to play with you.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
This has been so much fun, y'all. This was my first time GMing in like over a year. It's my first time GMing on stream, and I literally could not have been with a more perfect crew. I'm just enamored by all of you and all of your characters. Oh, I don't want to go. We have announcements.
Don't
We'll drag them out.
either.
We'll drag on.
If we talk
really slow. We don't have to
Y'all
end
in
the episode.
chat will hang out with us for like another half an hour, won't you? Of course you
Absolutely.
will.
Oh, well, I hope someday we can come back to these kids. I don't know if it would be on stream or off stream, but I would love to play with y'all again. You were so much fun.
I'd love to as well.
So I'm gonna run through some announcements and then we'll call the stream. So we have the Infinite Horizon recap, which we watched in the middle of the show during break. If you missed that, you can catch it on YouTube. I'm sure someone can pop a link in chat for us. You can follow us on Twitter, which is all the way down at the bottom of the screen. You can see the rule of lore, and then all of my beautiful, lovely, talented players who have all of their ats underneath their names. You can check them out and follow them and love them and follow everything they do forever and ever. We have a Patreon if you want to support Rule of Lore. There are multiple tiers in which you get things like Media Club and Tabletop Tool Chest, and at the higher tier, I can't remember all the numbers, but one of the higher tiers, you get to be a world builder and you get to help us build things for our Infinite Horizon homebrew universe. People have made some pretty cool stuff with that. I heard about the last thing they put together, and I'm so excited to get to deal with that. This very show, it came from the loop. First 3 episodes are all on YouTube currently, and this episode, again titled Journey to the Center of the Loop, will be following them very, very soon, and so all 4 episodes will be up for your viewing pleasure, and also, as always, will be available on VOD immediately after we drop off live. Yeah. Join us next week, this same time slot, Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, and come and ask us questions. Chat us about our characters. All of the players can ask each other me questions. Y'all can ask us questions. Everyone can share theories. I'll talk about other weird things that maybe were supposed to happen and didn't. Y'all hit most of it. Y'all got that notebook, which is really the only thing that I was like, yes, they got the big lore drop. But that is all for channel things. So hopefully if you, and if you can't make it live next week and you can't hang out and chat with us, you can get in the Discord. Someone can drop a link in chat for us, and you can put all of your questions beforehand in there, and we will still try to get to all of them if you want to VOD squad that. Yes, I think that's channel things. Y'all, we want to promo your stuff. Where can everyone find you now that your beautiful faces won't be here with me?
I guess I'll start. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Aki. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at MixGenieinABottle. That's MXGINIINABOTTLE. And on Mondays, you can find me over on Twitch D&D playing Rime of the Frost Maiden. I am a Kalashtar Warlock, and it's a lot of fun. I just got my patron, and that starts at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And then following that at 6:30 Pacific time over on Q Times, you can find me playing Star Trek Adventures with Extreme Punk's crew, playing Clear Skies, where I am the ambassador on the USS Ross. Then on Saturdays, at least until the end of October, you can see me over on Mythic Grove playing Call, who is a Red Talon Lupus in my Werewolf of the Apocalypse game, and that is at 4 p.m. PDT. And I have a bunch of other stuff coming down the pipeline, a bunch of one-shots and other special things. So if you want more detail about my schedule, definitely check me out on Twitter. And then, of course, I also stream on my personal Twitch, which is twitch.tv/ShidareAki. That's SHIDAREAKI.
Oh. I just followed that up. I'm Drac or Draconics. You can follow me at Draconics. I think it's down here.
Yep, right below.
It's DRAKONIQUES. Sorry about the weird spelling. The normal spelling of Draconics was taken. I'm doing a lot of stuff, probably too much stuff. One, Friends I mentioned before, Friends Roll Dice. We're doing a charity event. I've been organizing it, and it's way more stressful than I thought. But it's for a good cause, so it's worth it. And we're raising money for the Rain Network and the Earth Day Network, and we are doing one-shots throughout the month of October to raise as much money for that. The next one-shot I think we have is going to be this Friday, where we are playing. Ooh, I can't remember the game. But we're playing a one-shot. Don't know what one. From 4 to 7 p.m. PDT, and then we have another. We have episode 2, I think it'll be, of our Air Room 4 shot on next Tuesday from 6 to 9 PDT. And then we're going to be finishing the month off with a charity stream on November the 1st, because October the 31st, everyone's probably going to be drunk after, So we decided that on the 1st of November, we're going to do a 12-hour stream with a bunch of fun guests playing a bunch of one-shots. Me personally, you can catch me over on Super Idols RPG, which is a magical idol person RPG where we play magical idol people. And it's a lot of fun. The next episode is coming out, I believe, at the beginning of next month. It's one episode every month, so the beginning of next month. You can also find me starting October the 22nd. I'm going to be starting a new D&D campaign called Heroes of Eastera, where I play a Warforged monk, and actually Caitlin is doing art for.
Oh, we can announce that. Yeah, I'm doing art for that show.
Yeah.
Woo!
We recently announced my character. We did an audio thing. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably see that I retweeted it. Another thing I'm doing is I'm going to be in a Burn Bright campaign over on Chromatic Chimera, where I play a bunch of insects. I just play a bunch of insects, telepathic insects that move as one body. It's great. It's a lot of fun. I can't wait. It's going to be, I think we start on the 27th of October. Oh, and then I'm also going to be in an iHunt campaign starting from the 26th of October.
All of the things.
Yeah, all of the things. I haven't created my character yet, so I don't even know if I'm allowed to actually tell you this, but you guys came, so you get an exclusive. I'm going to be playing the iHunt campaign over on Encounter Roleplay, and that's going to be fun. The players I'm with are awesome. I'm very excited for that. And then I'm also going to be in a Swords Fall mini-series.
Oh, nice.
That's going to be in 2 weeks' time on a Tuesday. It's going to be really fun. We're going to be with Greedo, Noir, the name is Burns. I don't know. I haven't actually asked him what the actual name is. I probably should. And Jack. And it's gonna be fun. I'm very excited for it. I think that's everything. Maybe I made sure to write it down during the break so I can just for this.
It's all on your Twitter. Everyone just obviously that means everyone has to follow you now so that they can see all of your steps. All right.
I'm Alex, as usual. At's right down there. Also at Alex P. Perkins. I still have crew neck sweaters up for pre-order. There's also some sticky note pads up there as well. Also, all orders sent through my Etsy shop in October either come with candy or vampire fangs that are individually packaged. And no, I don't slobber on them. You know I could. Also, Articles of the Arcana is up on Kickstarter now, so you can check that out. That is going to have, instead of actually just one short adventure, I think a bunch of cool art's going to be happening though, so definitely check it out. And my commissions are open for the month of October. Get them while they're hot before I overwhelm myself again.
Please commission Alex. I got the piece that finished today, and it looks really great.
They're drawing my dog for my sister's birthday. So
I love him.
He's so cute.
I'm Remy. I'm at Remy Post on anything if I'm there. I'd like to stream on Thursdays on my personal Twitch. That's also at Remy Post. And follow me on Twitter. I do stuff.
Woo. I've been Caitlin Bruder, your storyteller. You can catch me in this time slot in 2 weeks' time, returning once again to my four-armed alien, Binoba, for Infinite Horizon, which I am just very excited to be back at. This has been so much fun, but I'm very excited to be a player again. And then on Sundays at 5 p.m. Pacific, you can catch me and Power Play on Q Times, playing a very moody intern. And that's what's up with me. So check us out next week. Come hang out with us and chat about the show. I'm very emotional that it's over. I cannot believe that 4 weeks has gone by so fast. Y'all have been an absolute dream to play with. This is just, y'all are perfect and amazing, and I am just so happy that I got to do this with all of you. So thank you all of you for playing with me. Thank you to all of our audience, and thank everyone who's watched us on VOD Squad or live. Y'all are amazing. I hope you enjoy this as much as we did. And we will see y'all the next time you decide to come roll with us. Much love to all of you. Have a good rest of your night. Bye.